Launch ready for WWE Aftershock in 3, 2, 1. World Wrestling Entertainment Discussion is live. Cue host Owen Finch.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to WWE Aftershock, Season 3, Episode 6. I'm Owen the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with the person that is finally feeling better. Doesn't have a raspy voice or anything like that anymore. He's finally 100%. Chris Daw, what's going on today, Chris?
Oh, just excited. Not really, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm also here with the person that is making his epic return to WWE Aftershock. He hasn't talked about anything current wrestling, I think, since, 2019, baby. I don't even know. It was before the pandemic. John Tutty, what's going on today, John?
Nothing much. I'm better than a lot of kids over the weekend.
And Chris is one of those kids, actually, believe it or not. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting thing because, everybody knows about it, but I won't talk about it until we actually get to that segment. Chris is a very big John Cena fan, where, John, you're the opposite. So, I don't think John Cena really broke your heart. I think, if anything, I think I saw a smile on your face when that happened, but we'll get to it when we get to it. So, yeah, Chris, I just realized, though, Should I take, because we have to do the kickoff and the countdown show and everything like that. Should I take that section of the chamber notes?
Yeah.
All right. So, we'll start with the kickoff that aired Friday. It was hosted by Michael Cole. This kickoff was probably the least exciting one that they've done, because instead of doing it, outside, where they typically do it, they did it, in the arena before SmackDown. It was only, a half hour. So a few things happened in it. They brought out Trish Stratus, Candice LeRae, Nia Jax, and Tiffany Stratton, and things like that. And they kind of got into a little bit of a promo battle and everything like that. The Trish Stratus part of it was good, but the Nia part of it wasn't good. And then they had all the people. They had all the women in the chamber match except for Alexa Bliss all get into a fight with Raquel Rodriguez included in that. Obviously, it set up that 6-woman tag match on SmackDown that the heels ended up winning. So, and then Drew McIntyre did a promo where he talked about how he's gonna, win the chamber match, and he made comparisons about the fact that he didn't really know his Mania path. But last year obviously changed that when he won the Chamber, so he says the same thing's going to happen again. We'll get to that when we get to it. And then CM Punk came out, and they did a funny bit where Michael Cole wanted him to talk about each person in the Chamber, and everyone that he mentioned first was all of the people he hated, like Logan Paul and Seth Rollins. He's okay, let's move on to somebody else. And when he got to I think the only person that he wanted to talk about that he had a good friendship with was Damian Priest. It was wicked funny. It was awesome. And then that was kind of this was kind of one of the most least exciting kickoff events, just because it took place in the arena and everything like that. Then going through the countdown show. Chris, I know John didn't see it, but Chris, did you see the kickoff event on SmackDown or no?
Yeah.
You didn't see it?
Yeah.
Did you hear about it? Because I remember I remember you saw clips of the Rumble one.
No, I didn't. This time I didn't.
And then we had the countdown show. We had the panel of Michael Cole, Jackie Redmond, Wade Barrett, Pat McAfee, Big E, and Peter Rosenberg. I think Joe Tessitore did it, but I think I missed that part of the kickoff show. So, and Cole and McAfee did the first hour, and then Jackie Redmond and Peter Rosenberg tagged in when Cole and McAfee had to go set up for commentary. And then I think Wade Barrett had to get off because he did commentary also. It's also kind of weird because they'll have them do their entrances and everything like that when they've already seen them. But they did some funny things on the panel. They roasted Pat McAfee because like he had only gotten there like 5 minutes before the PLE aired, because I think he was doing his podcast not in Canada. He was doing it like wherever the NFL complex is. That's where he was doing it. They wish Big E happy birthday because it was his birthday that day. I thought they were gonna do something where like the New Day were gonna like roast him, but that never happened. And Chris is happy that didn't happen.
Yep.
And then, they showed like a Jackie Redmond / Kathy Kelly interview with Logan Paul. That was pretty good. They showed like Big E's treats where like he went and tried all these famous dishes in Canada. And then they did this funny bit where like he kept throwing like, because he brought some of the dishes like to the crowd, he kept throwing it to the crowd and everything like that. And Jackie Redmond was gonna eat one of the things that like he threw and everything like that. So that was funny. And like Biggie realized he fucked up. He's like, "Well, I can't do anything about it now because I already threw it." So, and then Wade Barrett like mentioned he had like this great Elimination Chamber experience, and Big E roasted him, and they like, "Yeah, but you never won any of these chamber matches or anything like that." So that was funny. And I think that was
Art, stay there.
That's right. That's the last chamber match. I think he was. Yeah, that's the last one he was in actually. So, actually, John, a funny thing. I don't think it was during the kickoff, but we pointed out that that's the last time the old chamber was ever used. I think we know why they had to change the chamber to the set that it is now, because they don't want the pods breaking anymore. So, now
they want them to.
Yeah, well that one was definitely I don't want that break-in type of thing. Think about it.
Poor marketing.
Think about it too. I think about it too. I think that match was going relative. I mean, it wasn't going well, but it was going okay. And then like this all fell apart after that. So,
Wrestle Talk just did one of the worst match ever on that chamber match. And they're watching like, this is not bad, and then once the pod breaks and Mark Henry's like a deer in headlights, has no clue what's going on, and it completely falls apart.
Yep. The biggest thing I remember about that match is when at the end when Sheamus like makes his pod doesn't open. No one really knew if that was supposed to happen or not, because the Mark Henry thing wasn't supposed to happen, so everyone else thought the match was completely breaking. But then we found out that he planted like his necklace there, and he didn't. He decided to do it like in the middle of the match. He didn't even do it like when well, that has to be a retro someday. So
yeah,
but yeah, I think that's it for the kickoff, though. Not the kickoff, the countdown show. Decent countdown show. Again, it was too long. It was 2 hours of just talking. And that's just too long. If you're going to do a countdown show that's 2 hours, they should do a match or something. It's something that Chris and I have been saying, I think since they've started doing the 2 hour countdown shows. I mean, that's going to happen for Mania this year. So,
yeah, but there might actually be matches on the show, though.
No, there won't. There won't be. You know that. I still want that. I hope they do, because it was so bad last year that it was good. Remember they did like the Slammies last year? It was really bad.
That was awful.
It was so bad that it was like kind of good type of thing. So
it was horrible.
I remember like Cody won like 3 Slammies, and I think they just had him like film like 3 different videos with like the same Slammy type of thing.
It was horrible.
That's awesome. But anyhow, Chris, why don't you get to the actual show itself?
Make me.
Well, actually, did you watch the countdown show? I should ask if you watched the countdown show.
I saw Big E throwing the food out.
What'd you think of that? Did you like that, or did you not like that?
I thought it was hysterical.
How'd you feel? Did you feel bad for Jackie Redmond that she didn't want to get to eat the food that she wanted because Big E threw it away, pretty much?
Yeah, she's probably hungry too because she probably hadn't eaten yet, and then Big E was tempting her with food and then just threw it into the crowd.
That's what Big E. Maybe that's why the New Day turned on him, because he was starving them.
Food waste.
You don't waste food, and then your friends won't turn on you.
Maybe they will.
You don't know. But anyhow, let's get to the actual show itself.
This show was wild. So they bookended both the beginning and the end of the show with Elimination Chamber matches, which makes sense. Because you want the moments to be able to be sort of separated instead of like doing them one after another. So we started out with the women's Elimination Chamber match. It was Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez versus Bayley versus Bianca Belair versus Liv Morgan versus Naomi. Now this match starts out with a fucking bang. Because before the bell could even ring, Jade Cargill makes her long-awaited return after she was brutally taken out on an episode of SmackDown, I think it was, months ago now. Months and months ago. It was during the fall, I think.
Yeah, it was like it was right before War Games, so yeah.
Yes, it was November. They had alluded to it over the couple of weeks being Liv and Raquel because they were filmed sort of in the area of where Jade was, but it was very vague. And she gets it, and she runs down to the ring, stops the chamber from being closed, and she kind of mouths something to Liv that said something along the lines of, "I know it's not you." Gets in the ring, pretends like she's gonna hit Liv, and then she just fucking decks Naomi and just brutally fucking beats the shit out of her.
Yeah.
And Bianca is going berserk in the pod, first of all, not trying to get out. First of all, she made a hell of an attempt to break her own hands before she even said, "Hey, can you open the pod?" So she's banging away in the pod. Naomi's just getting the crap beaten out of her, and everyone thinks that that's her that did it. And she gets eliminated immediately right away. Obviously, because she couldn't compete. I liked it. I liked that return for Jade, and it kind of put the spotlight on. Maybe she knew. Maybe she found some footage that had Naomi that did it to her, because the visual of Jade just was brutal. Bloody mess.
I don't think
it was brutal.
This was cool too, because usually when they do like a mystery attacker storyline, they usually will wait to reveal the mystery attacker until the person that's been attacked like comes back, and like when they did it with Austin, he like tried to figure it out. But I like that this time, like Jade Cargill came back and like immediately knew that it was Naomi. So in a weird way, Naomi turned heel without like actually turning heel, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen.
The thing that the detectives online had showed was when Jade's music hit, it's focused on Liv, the camera, but you could see Naomi look back at Bianca like, "Oh shit!" Like she's back. Like,
yeah,
they were kind of a little bit like Naomi was kind of a little bit scared.
So
yeah, that kind of was like a little bit of a way of kind of telling you. Like, not in that moment, obviously, but, like, if you kind of watch it back, you can see her, like, look very nervously to Bianca as a way of, like, oh, shit, like, we're fucked.
Yeah. But I like this a lot, I didn't realize the bell had run either, because I
didn't either.
So like I thought like they were gonna do like something where like kind of like what they did with Edge back in 2009, where like someone was gonna come out and like replace Naomi or something, like a big return or something, but it didn't happen. She just got like eliminated. Yeah, this was cool. This was kind of funny because my friends that were there, I had to explain the storyline to them, and they didn't really get that, like, this was... they didn't even know this was Jade Cargill's return, because all I said was, like, that she attacked Jade Cargill. Like, they were, like, wondering, like, why now is she just getting more revenge? And I had to be like, well, this is her first appearance on television, like, since the attack and everything like that.
November. She has not appeared on TV since November.
Yeah, so...
Whether she was hurt or not, I don't know.
But yeah, John... and then I'll have you break down the match, Chris. What did you think of this angle they did with Jade Cargill coming back and beating the crap out of Naomi and everything like that?
I mean, I thought it was a great way to start the chamber. I did like the shot of Liv, like covering her face, like, oh god, I'm about to get my ass kicked, and just goes right for Naomi and just kicks the crap out of Naomi. And from what my understanding is Jade is not, is kind of like the Goldberg type, where she has a great look, a little not great in the ring, more of a squash match type of wrestler. So if they're gonna have her in the ring with, say, Naomi, who knows what she's doing, and Bianca, which I know, we'll get to result of this match later, result on Monday, where that's not gonna be the story they're gonna tell. Like maybe they'll eventually get to Jade versus Bianca, and I think it'll be a really good program.
Yeah, I think it would be too, because they've been a tag team since Jade came to WWE, pretty much. So, and
yeah, I mean they've been like a trio since Jade's debut.
yeah, and you are right about Jade, John, too, where well, more so in AEW, she has improved since because she was in AEW first, and she basically did that, the squash match system. I would say she's a little. It's kind of tough because she's mainly done tag matches in WWE since.
But her work has been fleshed out a little bit.
Yeah,
Fleshed out a
That's
little.
that's good.
Yeah, it's good.
She's been in AEW. She was a complete squash match person, but in WWE so far, the matches have gone longer, and she's shown that she can do that style. So then, they do the thing at the top, to see who comes up next, and it's Bianca, which kind of made sense because I thought they were going to immediately open up the pod and just had her go out, but it kind of made sense to do that. And then so she came in, she went to go try to check on Naomi. She almost tried to leave the pod. She almost tried to leave the chamber, but then Liv brought it back in, and they started fighting. Then that kind of settled things down a little bit too, because it was at a 10, and but so kind of and then Bianca started to more focus on the match and less on Naomi. But then Roxanne gets in, and she had a really nice showing in this match too. Also,
Very good.
She looked really good.
Yeah.
And again, for being 23 years old, she's impressed so much in such a short period of time. To be in a Royal Rumble, setting the Royal Rumble record, and then not even a month later, being a few weeks later actually, being in the Elimination Chamber for a shot to face either Io or Rhea at WrestleMania. It's a huge accomplishment for her.
Yeah, I like that a lot. She looked really good in this match. I'm pretty certain that after Roadblock, that she'll be on the main roster full time. Obviously, right now she's kind of still doing the NXT gig, but once Roadblock happens, she'll be on the main roster full time.
A lot of her feuds need to finish before, because I think she's getting a match at Mania this year. So
yeah.
So I think they need to kind of just finish up what they're doing with her over these next few weeks, and then she can be on her road to WrestleMania. And then Bayley comes in. Lots of kickouts. Lots of finishers at this point. Bayley looked good also, too. And then Alexa Bliss entered. And Alexa, fresh off of making a return at the Rumble, is now fully embracing sort of the Wyatt Six gimmick in a way.
Yeah, it's really good.
She's kind of back to being Fiend Alexa Bliss again, which it should have been to begin with, because though she was really weird when she wasn't.
But this is
she looks really good too.
But this is the good Fiend Alexa Bliss, not the one that was happening before she took time off in 2021.
Yeah, not that. That was the last appearance they had on TV together, which was her with that bleeding from the top of the box. Horrible.
Was that even? I think that it wasn't blood. It was like black goop or whatever. I don't even know what that was.
Yeah, that was the terrible idea. But this is like the good version of that. She looked really good, really good too. Also too. And we have our first elimination as Bailey was eliminated after she took an oblivion from Liv Morgan. So Bailey is your first person who was eliminated. That kind of made sense. That I can kind of see why they wanted to eliminate Bailey first, as she didn't really she doesn't really have an option, like an avenue to WrestleMania yet. So her winning really didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
because she really wasn't feuding with Rhea or Io, so it kind of didn't really make any sense for her to win. And it kind of made sense for her to eliminate first. If this is the Vince era, fucking Roxanne Perez would have 100% been eliminated first.
100%, yeah.
But yeah, it's Bailey had a pretty nice showing.
I can put my nerd glasses on right now, Chris, and be like, well, actually, technically, Naomi was eliminated first because she was in the...
Yeah, well, the real person that got pinned in the match first.
That's right.
Was Bailey. Not the person who got the living crap kicked out of her. To the point where she couldn't compete. The first person to have their shoulders pinned on the mat for a 3 count.
There you go.
But yeah, she probably should have been eliminated first because she kind of felt like she was kind of just thrown in there. But yeah, then they did a pretty interesting spot, and Roxanne Perez got eliminated after a Twisted Bliss. And Roxanne looked pretty good too in this match also.
Yeah, I thought so. If Roxanne Perez is having a match at Mania, you could do Bailey, or now you could do Bliss, because they've had, because they've been doing the Bailey Roxanne Perez feud, like in NXT and stuff, and then obviously they've had Alexa Bliss and Roxanne have a couple of interactions on the main roster now. So,
yes, they've had quite a few. There's a bunch of, and then Alexa Bliss gets eliminated after they do like a bunch of finisher counters and finisher spots, and then Liv Morgan ends up eliminating Alexa Bliss, which a lot of people were kind of speculating that Liv and Alexa would have a match at WrestleMania this year. Due to I think Liv was the one that eliminated Alexa in the Rumble too also.
yeah.
So that can kind of set up something. Maybe she teams up with someone. Maybe they do like her and Nikki Cross in this Wyatt Six gimmick against the tag champs. Liv and Raquel would be a fine WrestleMania match.
I think it would be, yeah.
But yeah, Bliss is very stoic too after she had got eliminated, and she's showing a lot of the mannerisms that she did before in this gimmick, which is great.
I like it, yeah.
And then finally took him long enough. Bianca just beats the crap out of Liv. She at one point, I don't know where this was in the match, but Jesus Christ. If Bianca had Liv, and she had her in like that the upside down like tree of woe type of thing, and she was swinging her around, and I think at one point she hit her fucking face off the corner of the pod, and I was like, man, I was like, if she's not concussed, like I don't know, then I don't know what the hell else to tell you, because that was brutal.
There's another,
was just swinging her around.
There's another brutal spot you missed that, like, because John and I watched the show together with my friends and we were talking, but like we heard this part of it, the hair whip that Bianca did to Liv.
Oh, yeah, when she was on the top, someone actually, someone actually who was at the arena took a video of it, and it's not. That was not piped in sound effects.
Oh wow,
that was legitimate. You could hear it in the arena. It was that loud, and it left a really long mark across like Liv's side into her stomach.
Yeah.
Like that was, oh my god, that was insane. That was brutal. It's been a long time since she's done the hair whip.
Yeah, it's tough to tell if she still had it on Raw too, because she didn't come out to like the way to do anything on Raw. So
Yeah. Those were two. That was, you could hear that. Oh, that was nasty. But when then she said using her like a baseball bat, and I was like, holy shit.
yeah,
At one point, like she hit her fucking head so hard, I thought she might have knocked her out.
right.
I was like, oh my god, that was brutal. And then near the end, the Liv tried to go for Oblivion. It was blocked. Tried to go for the KOD. It was blocked the first time. She hits the KOD for the second time and wins. And she goes on to face the winner. Bianca Belair goes on to face the winner of Rhea versus Io on Monday night.
Which we'll get to.
And we all know who wins that one.
Yes. And at the end, they kind of all just come out, and it was a big one. It's, the celebration, and those two are, lurking behind her, and she's looking at both of them, and yeah, that's how they close it out. I thought this match was really good. Great, even. I give it 4.5 stars, almost 5. I thought the return of Jade Cargill was awesome, and her coming back to beat the living crap out of Naomi. Don't know what this means for Jade in terms of staying face or going heel. I think she's the face and Naomi's the heel. I think the direction they're going to go in. But yeah, I thought this match was great. I thought everyone had really shined in this match.
Yeah, I agree. I like this match a lot. The Jay Cargill return, like you said, was awesome. I thought everyone shined real well in this match. Even Bayley, because typically, if you're the first person eliminated, you have to make sure that person's going to look credible before the first elimination, and that's exactly what happened with Bayley. And Roxanne Perez, they made her look really good. And, it was really a toss-up, of who was going to win between Bianca and Liv, because as you've ranted about before on this channel and in our private group text, Triple H has a hard-on for Liv Morgan in terms of a booking sense type of thing. Not like, cheating on Stephanie McMahon or anything like that. But Bianca winning... I wasn't completely surprised either, obviously, because then they did but then I wasn't really sure, because obviously they did the Jade thing, so I thought that was going to mess up Bianca in the match. But yeah, I'm going to give this 4.5 stars also, and I enjoyed this a lot, and I like the fact that they went with Bianca. What'd you think of this, John, and everything like that?
I thought this was an excellent chamber. I mean, I like Bianca. I thought that Liv, with her selling at the beginning of Jade coming in to kick her ass, taking the hair whip. Now, I've hated the Liv Morgan experience in my
We all have.
Yep.
semi retirement. It's not on her. It's how she's presented as a chicken shit incompetent heel. That she is. And granted, the whole problem's with the Judgment Day on its own. But I'm happy that Bianca won. It's the right choice. Because she's great. She's one of the best women, one of the best performers in the division. I don't think she's gonna turn heel. If she's gonna align with Naomi that attack Jade Cargill, I don't think they're gonna do that. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I was going to get to at the end of the show. Never say never when it comes to heel turns.
Yeah.
I don't agree. The seeds were planted.
But
They were.
But John will get to that when we get there.
Yes.
Of
course.
Because it was in Toronto, they showed like Trish Stratus themed stuff, and yeah, and then we get to that match, and it's Nia Jackson, Candice LeRae versus Trish, and Tiffany. Yeah, it was a match. It definitely was one of those things where you could tell it followed the chamber because Trish came out to virtually no reaction, which is almost surprising because it is Toronto, and the only thing they popped for was the fact when whoever was it, I think it was Lillian, said Toronto. That was the only thing they popped for, which was to me was kind of disrespectful in a way.
I feel like though it didn't really help that she was on SmackDown like the day before this. Like, I feel like if this had been the first time we had seen her at all in Toronto, maybe they would have had a little bit of a loud reaction, but she was on SmackDown, like, the day before. That's the thing I kind of think is weird when they do these shows. Like, Zelina got a good reaction, but, like, when they say, like, this is the first time sometimes we should see the people in their hometown is when they actually have the match sometimes, I think. Not, like, they should have them come out. Because I feel like if Trish wasn't on SmackDown before this, I don't know if she would have gotten a better reaction, somewhat.
Yeah, she would have, but at the same time, it's still like I feel like she deserved a better reaction than nothing.
Yeah, because the next match you get to, one of the people isn't even from Toronto itself, and he got a better well, I was gonna say he didn't get cheered though. He got booed pretty massively though. So,
it was a match. It happened, and Trish and Tiffany won. I felt like. This match was just really, really weird. It was okay. And at the end, too, was like, I don't even know if Tiffany knows how to be a face. Like, because at the end, she was like kicking Trish to get her off the apron for some reason.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I feel like they're going to have to find a way to... Hopefully Charlotte Flair can put out the babyface in Tiffany Stratton.
I can hope so, because it's been very average.
Yeah.
I thought she'd be a lot better than this, but then I realized that her normal speaking voice is very whiny.
Yes.
So it's like, it doesn't suit her well to be a face.
What would you give this match as like a star rating?
Like a 2.
I agree. I'll give it the same. You know, there was moments John and I looked at each other doing some of Nia's offense, and we're like, "Yeah, that looked rough." So that kind of had a lot to do. that kind of had a lot to do with it. And I want to keep this in mind. I'm probably taking John. John hasn't really probably seen Nia wrestle. I think like in this run really. So like. I think he hasn't seen her wrestle since she was there the first time, and that was probably back in like 2017. And John's like, "Wow, she really hasn't improved that much, has she?" And I had to tell her like, "Nope." So
I saw her. Yeah, I saw her wrestle once because I watched SummerSlam. So she faced Bayley on that, and that was fine. It wasn't offensive. And I'm watching this match here. I'm like, "Oh, that's a potato. Oh, that's a rough landing." Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. That I don't think Tiffany really knows how to be a babyface yet. She kind of is more of a natural heel. But I guess the crowd, they said the crowd unhappy. This was a popcorn match. Compared to the other 3 matches, they're like, this is the come down from the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I give this like...
it served its purpose. The right people won, I guess, and then you move on.
Yeah, I'll give this like 2. Oh yeah, John, you forgot to give your star rating to the Chamber match, and then you can do this one, I guess, too.
Chamber I'll give 4 1/4, and then this one probably just 2. Solid 2.
There you go.
A Kane 2-star match.
The Kane 2-star match is, I wonder if we should just call it the Kane.
Kane. Who's had more 2-star matches than Kane?
That is so true.
Yeah, he's the master of it. Never being so shit. for never being so good that he's never going to do it again.
I remember I didn't notice that until you pointed that out to me like a few years ago, type of thing. Like you had to.
Kane is the definition of a solid hand. Just a guy you can put out there. He's not gonna fuck anything up. Not gonna hurt. He's not gonna hurt anybody that we know of.
That we know of.
Yeah.
Safe in the ring, at least.
Safe in the ring, and then you go back, and that's it.
Hey, you know what? He got like over 20 years out of it and never got injured. So maybe that's the right method. So
It's
He
true.
took one bump. I think he took like one bump in 20 years.
But anyhow, let's continue with the breakage down of Elimination Chamber.
Then they kind of do the zoom around to show everyone. They show Travis Scott being there and a bunch of people who are at ringside, including Stephen Amell's brother Robbie and his wife. There was Con Man and Santi Zap of Twitch and YouTube fame were there. They were shown a bunch, and they were sitting behind. They were sitting in front of Drake was sitting in front of them. So they never showed Drake once, which that's I mean, he was very low key. But yeah, it's.
I assume.
Yeah.
I assume this was there a reason they didn't show him that I'm not picking up on because I actually.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how he was even there to begin with. Besides the fact that it was Toronto and he's a Toronto guy.
Oh, I thought like he did something like he wasn't supposed like he committed a murder or did something. That's why I'm like they were trying not to show him. I thought they were trying not to show him. So I guess that wasn't.
No, they didn't want him to become a meme.
All right.
He thought he'd become too much of a meme
Okay.
because he likes him young. So anyway.
Okay. That's probably the thing.
Yep. That was the whole point of the halftime show at the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's right. I did watch. I actually watched the Super Bowl this year. That's right.
A great candidate to start with.
No, it wasn't.
It was wonderful. But anyway, so they just do a bunch of shit backstage. Nothing really noteworthy. And then Alicia Taylor, basically, it's the unsanctioned match next. She says that WWE is not taking any responsibility for the match. There are no rules. And to really emphasize that, the referee, Rod Zapata, wasn't wearing any WWE merch, any WWE referee shirt or anything. He was just in a black outfit. He was just basically the count the pin.
They also had like the light because I think John and I noticed this. I think John pointed like the lighting was actually I don't think it was John. One of my friends pointed it out. Like the lighting was like very dark and everything like that. Like they
It was. They kept it very like gritty and almost like underground.
Yeah.
That type of lighting.
You might have to explain underground because John wasn't watching when Raw was doing
It was
that.
their take on the UFC without any fucking ropes.
Yeah.
I've seen the meme. I've seen the photo of Shane McMahon in his street clothes.
It's a
Dusty basement.
funny thing is, John, they still do underground. It's actually better now in NXT, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's out of the hands of Vince.
It's true.
That is true. It's a lot better in NXT, but it's kind of like that lighting, and it's very much so just focused on the two of them. I'm not gonna go over this. Just watch the fucking match. It's 5 stars. Just watch it. It's at one point I was seriously concerned for Sami Zayn's well-being because he had taken 3 table bumps in almost successive fashion. The King selling in this match here. Just wonderful selling by Sami Zayn. He really sold the fact that he was literally going to be killed in the ring. A lot of the early portion was controlled by Sami. He put Kevin through a couple of tables, concession tables in the concourse area. At one point, they brought out a bunch of chairs. Did a couple of moves on the chairs that looked very brutal. Double table stack. Sami went through that. And then Kevin put Sami through another table in the ring. And then at one point, Sami went out and they got a chair that was wrapped in Sami got a chair that was wrapped in barbed wire. To my surprise, because I thought it was banned forever from WWE. That was really shocking to see. Kevin got the brunt of the barbed wire attack, which wasn't gimmicked, by the way. That was to their liking. They didn't want it gimmicked at all.
Luckily, Kevin was wearing a shirt.
Yeah, because he would have been bleeding all over the place. So a little bit of protection. The drop toe hold spot under the barbed wire chair was brutal. Kevin sold that like crazy. And then they get to the outside. At this point, officials had come out to stop it, and Sami kept kicking out of literally everything that Kevin was giving him. And finally, the finish happens when Sami was almost motionless, and he got 2 apron power bombs. One Sami saved because Kevin kind of lost him, so they kind of showed Sami's resilience, kind of fighting it off a little bit in that way. But Sami takes 2 apron power bombs. Michael Cole's freaking out, telling him just to pin him already. Throws him back in and pins him 1, 2, 3. And that's not the end, as Kevin's going to try to kill his former best friend. He tries to hit him with a package power driver on the cement floor when Randy Orton makes his long-awaited WWE return to blows the fucking roof off the arena. Kevin goes into the ring. He's literally in tears because he knows he's about to get his ass kicked. Just very emotional. Randy hits him with an RKO. He adjusts the knee pad. Everyone knew what the fuck that meant. He was about to kick this motherfucker's head off. As he's about to hit the punt kick, referees break it up, and Kevin scurries off. I've already said this. I'm giving this 5 stars. This was excellent. Tough to watch at times, but excellent.
John, I'll let you go next this time.
No, I enjoyed this match too. If I had to, there's 2 things that kind of annoy me. I'm not a fan of the officials coming out in an unsanctioned match.
Yes, and the ref bump too. That was like, there's no need for that.
Poor Charles Robinson.
Oh my god, the fucking clothesline was insane. That man's taken so many fucking bumps for being a non-wrestler. It's insane.
And also, I mean, maybe because like it's just like wrestling, you're not supposed to really think about the kind of stuff. But like, Randy, what the fuck? You could have came out like 2 minutes ago and helped Sami out here. What the hell's wrong with you? That'd be cute.
I'd be coming a lot earlier.
Yeah. So that's really it. I don't think Sami should be on TV for a while now. And obviously, this is where they're set up for Mania is going to be Orton and Kevin. Which it should be good. I thought this match was excellent.
What you starving?
Probably good. 4.5, mainly because of the officials. Again, the officials all kind of took me, and some of the commentary too. From now, I hate Pat McAfee. He sucks. Oh my god, is he annoying me?
Actually,
not so much in this match, but like in general.
Actually, Michael Cole was annoying you more. I remember Michael Cole was like, "Please stop this! Please stop."
Cole. It's unsanctioned, Cole. They signed up for this.
They did.
Sami Zayn signed his life away.
Exactly. If he wants to die, let him die.
That's what he wanted to do.
Was it you, John? Was it you, John, or was it one of my friends that mentioned that if Kevin Owens had really wanted to, he could put a gun to the ring and shoot Sammy? And
I said it. I did. It's like it's like Kevin in theory could just show up with a handgun and just shoot Sammy in the chest.
He really can. It's unsanctioned. There's no rules. WWE exonerated themselves.
Granted,
It's
he probably would
lawless
have been
land at
tackled
this
by the
point.
mountain. Could be tackled by the Canadian police, but worth it.
But yeah, I'm going to be in the middle. I'm going to give it 4 3/4 stars for the same reasons, that you guys all said. I like this a lot. I don't think this is one of the best matches they've had. I think my favorite match they probably still had is either the one at Battleground in 2016 or the one they had, the first one in NXT, where I believe it was TakeOver Rival when Kevin won the title. But yeah, still great. Great character work from Kevin Owens. I do agree that Sami Zayn shouldn't be on TV for a while. Maybe come back like a week before Mania, or like the go home week, just so that way he could be on Mania. Because I don't want Sammy missing out on Mania. He should have big moments until he retires. But yeah, I agree. Really great stuff here.
Did we skip the Almighty Rock video package of how great The Rock is, or is that next? I forget if it's before the Kevin match or it's before the match.
I don't, did we, maybe I missed it then, because I believe, I think I left the room at that point, so that's probably why,
I can't remember at which point it was. I just remember
No, it was before.
It was before the okay. It's
Yeah, it's a
it's a thing that happened.
Look at how great he is. Red One did so well on Amazon. It bombed in the box office so badly they had to put it on streaming service at Christmas. But look at how great The Rock is. The heel.
He's fantastic.
Owen tried to explain the story to me of why the ending angle, which we'll get to obviously soon. But like, I was just like, why would Cody ever want to side with The Rock?
Because he's a weirdo.
Doesn't make sense.
Hey, at least what happened at the end made more sense, I guess.
I get that one, kind of.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But let's get
to say the least.
But let's get to it.
We're gonna get to it right now, actually. So Logan Paul is up first. He had an American flag because they booed the national anthem at the beginning. It's kind of getting a little old now, but it's Canada. They haven't won anything in years that actually matters. So they need something. They need something that's a consolation prize.
Chris, you might get death threats from this video.
Good. Canada sucks anyways. They've won a Stanley Cup since 1993. And they did everything in their power to piss away the greatest Canadian goalie of all time. Good for them. And even better for the Colorado Avalanche.
Didn't they beat us?
They reaped the benefits of it.
Didn't Tam... Because I just had to watch this hockey game, like, forcefully. Didn't they beat us, though, in the... the hockey game that they're doing right now or whatever?
Yeah, in a game that didn't matter.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Didn't they win the gold medal?
They beat the United States in the Olympics, like, in 2010, 2011. That was, like, one of the last times that the U.S., like, had professionals play.
There you go.
But, yeah, that was ages ago.
Pat McAfee got death threats, too, by the way. That's why, that was my reference, because he was upset.
Yeah.
I would just give him death threats because he's Pat McAfee.
Could be that, too.
He's not everyone's cup of tea.
Oh, Cole, bro, let me tell you. It's like he's got that Pittsburgh accent with the marble.
He is very yinzery.
Yeah, it's really and once that's Owen to mute it.
I know, but luckily you couldn't hear it. Luckily you couldn't really hear it much, anyways. So.
Yeah. It's like I've listened to him for like a couple shows because I watched the Rumble. And obviously, I watched this show and I watched the Raw afterwards. Like, yeah, no, I'm out on Pat. Out.
Yeah, he can get a bit overboard. I am a big fan, but I can see why. I could see
You can see why
he's-
he can get on
yeah.
someone's nerves.
Yeah, I like him
Like,
too.
he is a bit annoying.
Yeah, I can see why people don't like him, but I enjoy him.
I think he'd be better off as like a manager or like a backstage personality kind of.
He was a manager
Yeah.
actually at one point, actually, so kind of. So
Huh.
I could see it.
yeah, what was it? Because what was the name of that?
Where-
It was some. I don't even remember it. To be honest, I don't even remember the name.
Yeah.
It was so long ago.
It's that
Um,
they became the Brawling Boots later on, actually. So,
yeah.
but anyhow, let's talk about this chamber match because I know Chris. I noticed Chris, you're delayed and talking about the thing at the end of the show because you don't want to talk about it. So
I don't. Still fucking. Yeah. Don't. Yeah.
I mean,
Still hurts.
I mean, Chris, we'll see him all day until you talk about it.
Yeah, I know it's tough. It's tough.
But you have a whole you have one whole chamber match where he was still your hero type of thing. So let's talk about this chamber match where he was still your hero.
So we have the men's elimination chamber match. It's Logan Paul versus Damian Priest versus CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre versus Seth freaking Rollins versus John Cena. Whoop-de-doo.
Well, that's
Just about as star-studded as a elimination chamber they've had in a very, very, very long time.
And Damian Priest.
And then Priest.
yeah, pretty much.
And then Damian Priest. Sounds wonderful. Just to throw Priest in there.
Well, remember we had that. Remember we had like it was a pretty star-studded one like last year, and then they threw in like Bobby Lashley, which was even more out of nowhere type of thing. Like,
Yeah, it was. They tend to do that sometimes. And the winner, of course, goes on to face Cody at WrestleMania. Seth and Drew started to basically keep their feud alive. Really good opener between them. They just have so much chemistry, going all the way back to WrestleMania last year. Just really good chemistry.
before that, Crown Jewel in 2023, actually.
Yeah, they've always had really good chemistry together, and it shows again.
Yep.
Damian Priest is out next. Great, the person who just was thrown in there. We don't get any eliminations for quite a while, actually.
I would make the argument that Damian Priest wasn't completely just like because at least he has history with some of these guys like Seth and Drew and
He does, but he's not everyone's cup of tea. But yeah, he entered in there. And then Logan Paul comes in afterwards to a big heel reaction, as he should, because he's a heel. And he came out with the American flag just to piss everyone off.
Yep.
I thought that was cool. And Cena came out. He was cheered for the time being.
Yes, he was.
And the first elimination we have is Drew McIntyre. And he was pissed
Yes.
after he got eliminated.
He's got a great. He's great with his facial.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. His facial reactions are top notch.
And I was cool with
Just
him.
another reason for him to be even more pissed off.
Yeah, I was cool with him being the first guy out because his whole gimmick is that he thinks the company is against him and everything like that. And the big thing is that he never stays focused. That's what cost him the big victories and everything like that. So I was cool with him. It seems like they're going the Damian Priest route at WrestleMania. I'm not really a fan of that just because they faced off before. I feel like they should have gone the LA Knight path since they have so much history and that's what causes blow up backstage. But I don't know if you know this, John. Backstage, because they missed Drew's elimination in the Rumble, it had something to do with LA Knight. Like, I'm not exactly sure like what, but it led to that kind of them having a blow up backstage. I was hoping they were going to do something with that. They still could, but it doesn't seem like they're going down that path because they haven't really had any interactions with each other.
Yeah,
'cause it was a spot where LA Knight was trying to like get some moves in, and Drew wasn't a fan of it because it kind of interfered with his elimination spot, and so they kind of, maybe it was overblown, maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
It could be a work too because the same reports came out last year about when Punk came back, and it became the hottest feud of 2024.
Yeah, that is true. So Drew's fucking pissed off, and he Claymore kicks Priest. And then Logan Paul eliminates Damian Priest by hitting a frog splash off the top of the pod, right in front of CM Punk. And then Punk comes out afterwards and immediately goes up and just smacks Logan Paul in the face. That's a receipt, motherfucker.
Yeah, for Monday.
Not home.
And they like glanced right over. They went right past it on commentary. It was like, why didn't they say anything? I was like, that's like the biggest thing, because on SmackDown, though, I think it was the week prior, Logan smacked Punk. It was on Raw, I think. Logan smacked Punk right in the face as a kind of like a to win the promo battle. And they went right over it, and I was like, okay, that's odd.
There was a funny thing with Punk before he even came out of the pod. It was when Seth and Drew were having their one-on-one thing where they both kept smashing each other like into Punk's pod, and he was like rooting for it type of thing. That was really funny.
And there was a malfunction too, like in his pod, because the light kept falling down. That was in the pod. So every time the light would fall down, he put it back up, and it would fall down again. He put it right back up again.
Hey, that's not the worst malfunction Punk's had with the Elimination Chamber pod. So,
nope. So Logan Paul's eliminated after Punk hits him with the GTS and gets his revenge and eliminates Logan. Yeah, and then Cena and Punk hit the heart attack after that. That was pretty cool. Nice little homage to the Heart Foundation there. And then Seth Rollins gets eliminated after an AA from Cena, and then Punk steals the pin.
and they played up a good story too, because Seth had like a buckle bomb onto Cena through the pod, and he could have eliminated Cena at that point, but he was just so obsessed with eliminated Punk that like he, which I thought was a really good storytelling element. That Seth Rollins was so obsessed with Punk that like it kind of helped Cena win and everything like that. So
yeah, I did like that. So near the end, Seth, who hadn't left the chamber yet, stomps Punk's head into the padding. No longer steel. Very safe. Bump to take there. Because I don't think it would have taken it if it was the greats.
Probably not.
Because he would have been legitimately unconscious. So that, and then Cena pulls him in, hits him with the STF, and Punk doesn't give up. He passes out, and the winner and going on to WrestleMania is it's Cena. So
I feel like we can't give a star rating yet until we get to the ending angle, right? I feel like the ending angle will make this.
Yeah. Okay. This is. Oh God.
Poor Chris.
So, yeah, I've not been the same. I'll put it that way. I've been a wreck. So
that's why he won't put his camera on.
I've been a mess.
That's why we haven't heard from you much.
So Cody comes out. The Rock. I think The Rock came out first.
No, Cody came out first, and then it was The Rock.
No, that's right. Yeah, because they did that little handshake of fake.
Yeah, guys, you're missing the most important person in this angle. Travis Scott.
Travis Scott. Yep.
He actually did end up
He
being.
came out first.
So they hit the smell hits first, and then Travis Scott came out. And I was like, "What the fuck?" I don't know. Then they played some weird rap song. I think it might have been a Travis Scott song, and then played right into his final boss theme. So they come out, and The Rock is basically this sleazeball who's trying to get Cody to sell his soul, and he's going to give him everything. He's going to be his champion. He's going to give him everything. Cody Rhodes, clear as day, no censorship, goes, "Rock, go fuck yourself," to a very huge reaction. Cena was very pumped. He comes over. The whole time, he was basically telling Cody not to turn heel, not to sell his soul. Little did he know someone was going to do it. And so Cena gives him props. All of a sudden, looks at The Rock, facial expression, deadpan. No more smiling, and his just deadpan. Rock gives him the 2-finger slice of the throat thing. That's the follow-up from the bad blood that people thought wasn't happening. All of a sudden, he snaps back into the Cena character, the lovable babyface, kicks him right in the fucking balls. Cody,
Your heart broken.
Cody's testicles were obliterated, and it shattered me as a lifelong John Cena fan to my core. A streak that was so insane. 21 years, 3 months, and 23 days, which is now a Guinness World Record, by the way. And my childhood hero has turned to the dark side. And it shattered me into a million pieces. A man that I've grown up and loved my whole life.
And it shattered.
Has turned against me and everyone. And beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes. With Travis Scott being a goof.
He shot him.
He hit him. He slapped him across the face. He didn't actually rupture his eardrum or anything like that, so that was misreporting. Of course it was.
By Dave again.
Yeah, Cody said he was fine. Conrad Thompson asked him if he was okay, and he said yeah, he was fine. Yeah, it was very odd and caught me by surprise. I mean, the more you think about it, though, the one of the posters had Travis, Rock, and Cena all together. There were kind of signs leading up to it, but none of us really saw it until after the fact. So yeah, John Cena's a heel for the first time in 21 years. What the fuck is all I'm gonna say. I'm crushed, and I don't think I'm ever gonna recover from this.
You want to do a star rating and like overall thoughts at the end and everything like that?
I will give a star rating of 17 out of 5. Because as hurt as I am, it was probably one of the more unexpected things that could have happened. Cody selling his soul never really made sense. In this moment, at least. Him saying "go fuck yourself" was actually awesome. And it's obviously they censored it, which is weird because Netflix doesn't have censorship. But
Peacock, not Netflix.
They censored it for Netflix on their recap on Raw. But Peacock didn't censor it. I haven't gone back and seen it, but I don't think it's censored. On the YouTube page, it's not censored. If it's censored on the YouTube page, then it's going to be censored everywhere else. But yeah, this was unexpected. It adds a little bit more of a different dynamic to John's retirement run here, and it kind of dates back to him announcing himself for being in the Elimination Chamber. He did it more saying that, like, he basically just put himself in instead of having to earn it. And that is something that John never did in the 21 years that he was a babyface, that he always did things the right way. He always earned them. He never put himself in specific matches or anything like that. So that, looking back on that now, that press conference at the Rumble where he said he was going to be in the Rumble and he didn't care, really was kind of the pushing point, the point that he kind of started his turn. For it to actually happen is wild. I'd never thought in a million years that he'd do it. I know he's wanted to do it for like 10 years now. Going back to his feud with The Rock, he was so willing to go heel, and he had a new theme song made, new gear and everything. I wonder if he'll use that theme that he recorded for his heel turn in 2012. We'll see. But yeah, the leader of the C Nation is dead. He is soulless. Yeah, it's really interesting, and I'm very intrigued because we're not going to see him for a little while. We're not going to see him for I think another 2 weeks or something like that. So we'll see what it's like in a couple of weeks when we see him. And it's going to be very odd because he's going to get booed. Precisely.
For the right reasons.
For the right
But
reasons.
he's always
not because he was impenetrable in terms of refusing to do jobs. And then just being shoved down everyone's throat. The last 5 to 6 years or so, he was really...
He was on top.
He was beloved in terms of the fact that he wasn't really getting booed anymore. There was less and less and less John Cena sucks. Now the time is now kind of had the perfect John Cena sucks kind of beat to it. I don't think that's going to be used anymore. So it's going to be real interesting. I'm very interested to see what a heel John Cena is going to be like. Can he be this ruthless asshole? As a lot of people have been speculating, is he going to be, fuck them kids type of John Cena, or is he going to be, partial heel to the older audience, but a hero still to the kids? I don't know. I don't know which way they're going to go. But I think it's going to go full fledged.
Yeah, I'll go next. I really enjoyed this. The chamber match, I really like the chamber match. I'll give that 4 3/4 stars. It was a great chamber match. I thought all the stories advanced very well, especially Seth and Punk's. The fact that Seth cost Punk the main event slot of Mania really adds, as well as I'll talk about when we review Raw, it added a lot of fuel to their feud. Logan Paul was great in this match. I thought Damian Priest was pretty good in this match. Drew McIntyre's, I almost said Drew Carey, but Drew McIntyre's thing he did, and the fact afterwards the closing segment was awesome. I really liked John Cena going heel, and my friends and I were speculating it all day, thinking and I was thinking, will they turn John Cena heel? And I'm like, yeah, but it might be too late type of thing. It's his last year. I don't think they're gonna turn him heel in his last year, and he's starting to get beloved. But maybe this is the perfect time to do it. You always could have done it at the height of his power, but I feel like it wouldn't have gotten the reaction that it would have gotten. Because everyone would have wanted this so much. And you also didn't really have Vince didn't really do a good job making a number 2 babyface that could have taken Cena spot. And Cody right now is the he's the babyface of WWE right now. And he's really good at getting people to like him and everything like that. And it's kind of cool, how far along was the setup? We really don't know. Like I said, the Rumble, but a lot of people speculated. When Bad Blood, we all were thinking like, The Rock was coming after Roman, but maybe that was signaled at Cody all along, and we really didn't know it and everything like that. But I really like this a lot. The fact that The Rock and John Cena are going to be like a two-man power trip, I think is going to be something special. And yeah, I don't know what John Cena is going to be like as a heel. I wouldn't complain if nothing changed about him, but he's just like, it's like the darker side of his character that's always been there type of thing. Like, ironically enough, it was John's first episode of Aftershock, the politic and John Cena that we've seen all the time. He could just be that character and everything like that. Yeah, I'm interested to see what a heel John Cena's going to be like. And honestly, they could do a big swerve. And a lot of people have predicted this, that when it gets to the end of 2025 and whatever's going on with John Cena, he says, screw it, I'm not retiring, I'm going to take over this company type of thing. And he continues wrestling another year, type of thing. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And it really works out too, because it does make more sense, because John and I kind of looked at each other, and the way that Cena wins this match is even kind of heelish. He took advantage of CM Punk, and if you remember Money in the Bank, John Cena didn't want to take that cheap win at Money in the Bank, and that cost him the match then. And it obviously makes sense too, because John Cena, has been developing like a losing streak, where he hasn't won a singles match. I think it's like
he's desperate.
Yeah, so he could be a desperate man here, and I really think this changes the dynamics up, because you could have still done John Cena versus Cody, face versus face, and it would have worked well. Being like taking over the company type of thing. But now with John Cena as the heel, I think it's gonna work real well. And we thought Roman was a great heel. I always thought John Cena had the capabilities to be an even better heel type of thing. And that's the biggest thing I think a lot of people are speculating too. What's Roman's tie-in going to be in to all this when, he can kind of wrap up the stuff he's doing right now? Because obviously, I think they've had to change plans of how they were going to get to Roman versus Rock, because obviously if The Rock had been able to do Mania this year, I think that, actually wrestle, they would be different. But yeah, I'm interested in this. I can't wait to see what happens. But yeah, John, we'll go the complete opposite. Like I said, your first episode on ever on this channel was you doing politic and Cena, talking about your hatred for the pounding of John Cena. What did you think of all of this and everything like that?
Well, I'll start with the match was great. So when you're trying to explain to me the story of Rock and Cody and the selling of the soul, the whole thing, it's like, why would Cody ever do that? He's already the champion. He's already the face of the company. What benefit does Rock give him? So I was thinking, I think I said this to you when we were watching the show. I was like, all right, so it's going to come down to either Punk or Cena. Whoever wins this match is going to be siding with The Rock. The selling their soul could be either guaranteeing a main event at WrestleMania for Punk, or title number 17 for Cena. That's the motivation. Clear, defined motivation. And we'll see if Cena can still go. I don't really think he's... I watched a couple of his matches recently. His more recent matches. They haven't been that great, but they're also against Solo Sikoa and Austin Theory. Not great in-ring technicians.
Yeah.
And just the look Cena gave, he went from earnest to a guy that's been on the beat way too long in 3 seconds. Rock gives the throat slit. He kicks him in the balls, give him a stiff, the stiffest title belt shot I think I've ever seen.
That was very stiff.
You can hear it, just crack. Oh, done.
You even pointed out, John, there was a moment in this segment, even before he turned, you knew, okay, John's turning. You were like, John, you even called it out.
You saw it in the background. He's now John Cena's always been kind of an over-the-top cartoon character with his expressions, but this was comical. Like you see him in the background, he's all smiles and happy. He's slapping the thigh like, ha ha, good one, Cody, you got him. You told him to go fuck himself. Yeah, let's go. Come here, buddy. Give me a hug. I'm gonna kick you straight in the balls. I can do it, buddy. You're doing so well. Oh man, I can't wait to face you at Mania. We're gonna have such a great time. Turns on him hard. And obviously the reactions have been great. I've seen a bunch of memes on this, like the "fuck them kids," the Jordan meme with that. Break a wish, take a wish.
Break a Wish is my favorite.
I love that. So I'm hoping this is the last we see of the jorts and the colorful T-shirts and his hair. Please shave it off, John. Embrace the bald. Okay, it's okay. It's okay to embrace it. That bald spot in the back's a little distracting.
It is.
Every time I say it, I'm like, oof. Gives me a good chuckle. Yeah, no, it's I'm glad that they're doing this babyface and heel because I don't think the match would have worked for Mania if it was face versus face. I don't think it would have worked as well. Yeah, it wouldn't work as well as it is right now with the number one face in the company. I really don't know because you can go in multiple directions here. Did you notice the fact that The Rock only put up 2 fingers? I know with Bad Bloods he did 3.
Yeah,
now he did 2. So is there a third person in this?
I don't know.
I think they're going to be, and I think we're going to find out soon.
I think it's Seth.
Yeah, it could be Seth.
I'm thinking Seth or Drew.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those two. Someone's.
I mean, Seth would make sense because of the fact that he basically gave up his WrestleMania pursuit to defend Cody last year at WrestleMania, only for Cody to side with Roman.
Yeah, that was
Seth hates more than anything.
Plus, I know you guys are going to get to it with the Raw review. Obviously, CM Punk starting it out hot and calling out The Rock. Roman has a problem with Roman doesn't have a direct problem with The Rock yet. But he could. They've wanted to set up that match later on. Seth's the only one that's like I can see heading towards a turn.
Yeah. It could be. The more that you talk about it, John, I think it's going to be Seth.
Yeah, it's gonna be like one of those like Chris Jericho like turns where okay, this guy's an asshole. He lies. He does all this stuff, and you still cheer him.
Yeah,
I'm getting booed.
I could see that. Especially, too, because, like you said, Cody sided with Roman a lot. And he kind of helped Roman, and he's been kind of doing a little bit, well, he's been taking out Roman a lot. Punk helped Roman. And maybe this is a way to kind of, like, keep Roman, out of power and everything like that. I can see that.
Yeah. But overall, I think the show is probably one of the best pay-per-views they've ever done. I think it's probably the best. I've only seen a couple, but would you agree that since Triple H took over, this is probably the best show he's done?
That's tough.
It's tough. It's up at the top for sure.
Yeah. This is kind of it.
I'm still partial to WrestleMania from last year.
Yeah. WrestleMania last year, I think, is probably the one that's a close second to it. Because that was just legendary type of thing. This show did a lot of good graces, though, because lately a lot of people haven't liked Triple H's booking. The biggest one being, like, Jey Uso winning the Rumble out of nowhere. A lot of people really didn't like that. And, Charlotte Flair winning the Rumble, a lot of people didn't like that. And they don't really think Triple H's booking has been as strong recently. Because, I think he's been because typically he tries to save all this big stuff for the big shows, but obviously Raw and Netflix, he had to put a lot of big stuff on. He's done a few Saturday nights main events. But I think this show, made people excited for WrestleMania. But yeah, I agree though. I think this is one of the best PLEs that Triple H has booked. It's really tough. It's up there. It's definitely top 5. If I had to say like a top 5 right now, just off the top of my head, I would probably go WrestleMania last year. I might put it top 2. Then it's this show, and then I think it would be maybe SummerSlam 2022, just because that was Triple H's first real step and book. Because that's the first show he booked. Like where like because I remember I think Vince pre-wrote all the shows before up until SummerSlam when like he retired the first time. And then
And he came back with a mustache.
yes, he did. And he's trying to do it again. No, not to that company, but he's trying to start another company, which we don't know what it is yet.
I know. I saw.
But then it's Clash of the Castle from 2022, and then maybe Backlash France or Backlash in Puerto Rico. That's probably my top 5. So it is one of the best. I don't think I'll go the S rank, but I'll go A+. This was even the 2-star Trish match was fine. Like, really nothing bad on this show. A lot of people don't like the 4-match format with Triple H and stuff, but honestly, I'm actually one of the few people that like this format, other than like Mania or SummerSlam, of how he sets up his pay-per-view codes and everything like that. The only thing he's got to change is just how he does the countdown show and everything like that, because that's 2 hours of just panel talk that I could do without. But yeah, Chris, what did you... I know you have to grade this show, and how are you going to grade this show? Because this is where your childhood died on this show, pretty much.
Childhood's dead. I would say A+. Putting it aside, great show. A+.
But yeah, let's get to how did Raw follow up on this the next night? A lot of things happened on Raw. Let's get to it. Raw took place on March 3rd, 2025. We had Pat McAfee and Michael Cole on commentary for this show. I think we all kind of said how we feel about them. So there we go. Do you like Cole better these days, John? I know we kind of talked about that. Do you like him better? Because you haven't really heard Cole much.
I think Cole, now that Vince is out of his ear, he's actually a good commentator.
That's a big win for you.
Yeah, because like it was just. Let me show you how to install an app. I'm gonna be really annoying about the Miz.
Yep.
It's like, yep. No. Oh.
Actually, I don't know if you saw this at the Rumble, John, on the kickoff show. He was like he opened up one of the WWE Tops card pack, and he got like wicked excited that he got the CM Punk autograph, and he was like rubbing it into like everybody's faces and everything like that. It was really funny.
Michael Cole seems like he really enjoys his job.
He really does now, actually. So we had the intro. It kind of showed the highlights from the Elimination Chamber PLE. Throughout much of the show, I would just say it now just because I don't remember exactly when they do it. The big thing is they really highlighted and re-showed the John Cena heel turn. I guess that's the biggest thing we didn't really talk about. Is the John Cena heel turn on the same level as the Hulk Hogan's heel turn? Because a lot of people have been kind of comparing it to that. I would say like it isn't the case just because Hogan's really changed, really made the business kind of get into that period when it was booming. I would say the business already is booming. I don't really think you ever really needed Cena's turn, but Hogan's like caused the business to boom. So I'll start with John. Do you think it's on Hogan level? Or, I mean, obviously too, we haven't even seen what he's going to be like as a heel, so I really can't say that. So what do you think?
I would like to see the follow up to the turn, because Hogan. Obviously, the NWO starts and WWE, wrestling starts going through a big boom period at that point. It really starts. That's like the big catalyst starts right there. So we'll see how this thing follows up. You never know. Austin's, Austin had a great turn of it in itself, but the follow up was completely shit. And the business went into a downturn. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, no, it's at the end of the day, like the turn itself will probably be top three. I think between that, the barbershop, and the Hogan's the Third Man's going to be in that class
I would put
of the actual turn.
I put Roman at like number 4 too, because Roman, you know, caused the business to boom also. So, well, not just Roman's, not just Roman's turn actually, but yeah, Chris, would you put that in the same category? Cena's turn. I mean, I know this is tough for you because it's a childhood hero, right? That was a childhood hero right there. But yeah, would you put this in the same category as Hogan's, or do you still need to see the follow up?
Initial reaction, yes. But again, I need to see the follow up because, like John said, like Austin's heel turn at WrestleMania was great, but the follow up is terrible.
I mean, don't forget.
We need to see the follow up.
I mean, don't forget too. Austin turned heel at WrestleMania 17. It was in his hometown. Like no one was gonna boo Austin that night. If
it was Houston, like why the fuck would they do that? And of course, like Austin came out years and years later and said that he wished he had just stunned Vince instead, because he even realized that although he liked kind of the aspect of his character going in that direction, and he liked doing all that funny stuff, it just made Austin look diminished.
yeah, definitely. So
Like, it's funny. It's funny. Don't get me wrong. It's hilarious.
You got Kurt Angle and a
Austin as a
Cowboy.
heel was very funny, but that's not what it was supposed to be.
but yeah, let's get started though. So yeah, then it showed the intro. You know, it shows everyone arriving to the building. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky for their women's world title match. You know, I think Lyra Valkyria and Ivy Nile for their title match and stuff. And then we had the biggest one. CM Punk arrived, and he comes out like a man on a mission. You know, they do the leaf fitting. You know, where it shows him from the back, and then he makes his entrance to the ring. And, you know, he wastes no time. He gets on the mic, he stands on the announcer's table, and he just says that he has a lot of things he wants to get off his chest tonight. And you definitely should go watch this promo for yourself, because I won't get exactly everything that he said. This was a lot like the promo that he cut the night after he lost the WWE Championship, the night after the Royal Rumble 2013, where he talks about how he's got a lot of shit to get off his chest. He says that, you know, Elimination Chamber didn't end how he wanted, and now he's not going to be going to the main event of WrestleMania. He talks about how The Rock is just a fake bald bitch, and, you know, says that, you know, I may be talking to the leader of the board, but I'm someone that is used to going against authority, and talks about how he'll see him down the road. He talks about how John Cena, he was originally fine with him, but just announcing his Elimination Chamber shot, but he's just proven what CM Punk said about him all those years ago, and that he turned his back on these people. And then he, before he can really talk about Seth Rollins comes out, and before Rollins can even say anything, Punk immediately goes after Rollins, and they have this awesome pull-apart brawl that goes for a good 5 minutes or so. It kept getting broken up, and then they would go right back to it again, and everything like that. Yeah, this brawl was awesome. I really liked how they're intensifying this feud, and yeah, I just love this. Overall, John, we'll start with you. What did you think of this segment with Punk, Rollins, and everything like that?
This is my CM Punk. Ever since he came back, and you know, all of his promos have kind of been, I'm so happy to be in insert name town here, Big Pop. I'm gonna go get you, Drew McIntyre, because you're a whiny little bitch. Nope, he lost, he got screwed, he showed, and he was pissed. Comes out angry, I think. So, some of my favorite lines in this promo, today I'm going to address my enemies, which since my name is CM Punk, is everyone.
Yep.
He said that I'm going to see you two bald frauds, referring to Cena and down the road. You're going to make a wish that I never did. Great line. It looks down. I like the fact that he looked down at the camera.
Yep.
Just like screaming his head off. He's angry. He's pissed. Seth Rollins' music hit, and Seth is about to do his stupid dance, but Punk just hooks it to the front to kick his ass. And I was like, this is the most fun I've had watching wrestling and probably since WrestleMania 40, I would say. I'm like, yeah, I was like, oh fuck yeah, let's go. They kept the brawl kept going. They kept getting out of the guys' clutches. They threw in a couple of stiff shots. They're flipping each other off. Oh, it's awesome. It was great.
Yeah, and this made me think, because Cole kept talking about how Paul Heyman owes him a favor. I think I know what that favor is going to be. I think it's going to be main event of WrestleMania Night 1. I think Paul Heyman's going to, he's going to have Paul Heyman call in a few favors so that way his match main events Night 1 of WrestleMania. So, Chris, what did you think of this segment?
I mean, you could tell by the tone setting right away. Punk is going 1,000 miles an hour in his truck, flying into the arena. He gets out, and he just looks pissed off.
Yep.
Beyond belief. And I was like, oh, fuck. I'm like, who's he going to call out? Is he mad at Cena? Is he pissed at Cena and Rock and Seth? Or is it just Seth he doesn't give a shit about Rock or Cena? And he comes out and immediately goes scorched earth on both Cena and Rock. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. I was like, okay, so Punk is now the anti-hero now. In this sort of thing, because I think he's going to somehow be involved in this situation, in this the Rock Cena almost corporation like stable type of thing. The fact that he called The Rock and Cena both bald frauds made me crying laughing. That was the funniest part. And him and Seth fucking just having a complete amazing pull-apart brawl that went on for about 25 minutes. And anytime that the other one, the officials tried to break it up, they just break free and shove them away. And it happened through a couple of segments too, I think. Like backstage it happened. They happened in the crowd. It was the best opening segment to Raw I think I've seen in like fucking 20-something years.
Yeah, it was insane.
It know what it felt like? And it's going to sound so kind of crazy. It felt like a Vince Russo-esque Attitude Era opening segment.
Which is very fitting because he's leaving podcasting soon, so it's fitting that they pay tribute to him, I guess.
Can't be soon enough. But it felt like that.
But yeah, continuing with the show, Judgment Day were backstage. I'm pretty sure Gunther did his entrance, and then they did Judgment Day backstage. They're just playing 2K24. Or maybe 2K25, they could have had early access, because they work for the company, so they could have.
Or maybe they just make them play 2K24 still.
Yeah, I don't know which one.
I'm not sure they have that much pull.
I like to think, hey, you know what? If they do... on Friday they could play 2K24. That's not 2K24, 2K25 if they pre-ordered it. Let's hope they remember to pre-order it. So, Carlino,
did you do that? What? Shit.
that needs to be that needs to be a segment now. But the backstage, Liv and Raquel are happy that they won the women's tag team titles, and they said that they didn't. That last night proved that they didn't attack Jade Cargill, but it benefited us. We see that Finn Balor's all pissed, and he comes up and he's upset with Dominic Mysterio and Carlito that he didn't take care of Braun Breaker, because obviously that was a thing that was going on last week. And Dominic Mysterio points out, though, that Finn was in there with the chair and had a chance to beat him up, but instead he backed down. And Finn Balor says not to worry about it, because I'm going to take care of him tonight. And Dom kind of tries to tell him that, if we just had a new member, then we'd be able to take care of him. And Finn just shoots that down. He's like, no, we're not getting any new members. We're fine. And, kind of Liv has to kind of, break the tension between both Finn and Dom. This was okay. I feel like Judgment Day's kind of lost a lot of steam since the Damian Priest feud's kind of ended. I don't know who they would get to be like the new member. Really not sure. I don't know if I really care. But yeah, that was a segment. It was all right. It sets up Finn versus Braun potentially. I hope it's a set up Finn leaving Judgment Day because I think Finn needs to go back to being a babyface. He's a good heel, but he's actually one of the few wrestlers I think might be better being a babyface. But Chris, we'll start with you. What do you think of this Judgment Day segment they had?
That's fine. Like you said, like after the Damian Priest feud, it's almost like they've been spinning their wheels. Like Liv and Raquel have their own sort of shit going on. So they still have a main feud going on, or about to enter into another one. Whereas like Carlito just does his own fucking thing. He's just a funny background character. And Dom's just being a fucking piece of shit. But I think Finn in general is kind of like, I don't know. I think it's his heel gimmick is sort of run dry.
Yeah, definitely.
There's only so much he can be as an angry Irishman. Like before it becomes incredibly stale.
To be fair though, when he was a face, he was a smiling Irishman though. So
he was too, but I just feel like it's time for him to get a little bit more demonic.
Kind of be like that face he was in NXT, like during the pandemic time frame. But yeah,
when he was like associated with the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, but yeah, John, what did you think of this Judgment Day backstage segment?
I'm not a big fan of Judgment Day. I think they are just kind of bland. They're kind of just the job squad.
Has this always been the case, or has this been even when Damian Priest and Rhea were in it?
When Priest and Rhea are in it, they're like, all right, no, they're good because they're over. Now they're out of their group. It's like Finn doesn't really have anything that made him that made me like him when he was in NXT. I hate his music. God, his music sucks.
Don't blame him. That's Def Rebel's fault.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying like it.
Well, the Judgment Day theme song in general is very bad.
I don't think John's heard it yet, so
good. You don't want it.
All right, I haven't. Every time I've seen Finn, he loses. Makes it look like a geek. I mean, I understand
losing
that
way too much.
On Carlito because they are. They're just geeks. Just that Dom gets booted out of the building, and that's usually what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But Finn feels as though he's just kind of wasted in spinning his tires in this tired gimmick. It's been going on for, 3-4 years now, from what I understand?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, since they turned on Edge, which was probably 4 years ago now, almost.
Don't you mean Cope?
Yes, Cope.
Yes, Cope.
I forgot. Cope.
Stupid ass name.
Cope. Cope with it.
Ugh.
But yeah, continuing. Then we had the match. It was Gunther versus Otis. This was set up from last week when Gunther choked him out and everything like that. Really good big man match here. I like this a lot. Gunther got the advantage early, and it kind of looked like he was kind of taking Otis lightly and everything like that. But then eventually Otis started to mount a comeback. But then Gunther was able to overcome that, and he ended up hitting the powerbomb actually onto Otis, which was really impressive. It wasn't clean. Obviously, it was a little bit of a struggle. It was kind of like the Kevin Nash. I believe it was the Kevin Nash not Big Show, Kevin Nash Giant one when Kevin Nash did it. I'm pretty sure that happened in WCW once.
Yeah, when he fucked up the jackknife and almost fucking broke Big Show's neck.
It wasn't that bad, but it was kind of like that's like the best comparison I could kind of make it to. It looked pretty safe. I got the one. Afterwards, he attacks Akira Tozawa, and Jey Uso runs out to make the save and lays out Gunther with the spear. And then afterwards, he celebrated with the fans and everything like that. And then A-Town Down Under attacked Jey Uso from behind. He's able to fight them off. But this distraction allows Gunther to lock in the sleeper hold onto Jey Uso. And he's after this, Gunther's able to stand over him with the title. I liked all this. I liked how it was presented. I liked the match between Gunther and Otis. The Jey Uso stuff was good. And I think Gunther needed to lay him out this week just because Jey Uso's been kind of getting the better of him. And a few weeks ago, he said in his promo that he was going to make Jey Uso suffer. 10 weeks of hell. And 2 weeks of it, Jey Uso has been looking fine. So I feel like one of the weeks, Gunther needed to look strong. And a lot of people don't really like the fact that this match is happening at WrestleMania, but I'm not really one of those people. I'm looking forward to this match. And I like how they all this played out. What did you think of this, John?
This is the feud they're booking for the world title, well, the Raw World title. I mean, here's the thing. I like Otis's look. Just it feels like this is like a mid card belt.
I can see that.
Feud, which I understand. What do you what segments are you gonna get out of Jay versus Gunther for 7 weeks? They've got to stretch this thing out. I mean, I don't really have a lot of better ideas. I don't really have one. But really, Alpha Academy, A-Town Down. This is their. They're gonna have a 6-man tag in a few weeks.
They probably will.
Where Gunther beats Jay again, or something like that, or what? Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, the match was fine. It's fine. It's just, I don't know. I feel as though that Gunther and Jay could be used in such a better capacity than what they are.
I do like.
Because it's if you look at the pecking order on Raw, it's like a third or fourth, down the line.
I agree. I do like the fact that you at least admit, though, that you can't come up with better segments. One of the people that no, I could do this better type of thing. At least you're honest about that. But yeah, Chris, what did you think of this segment and everything like that?
It was fine. Otis is cool. I like him getting a little bit of the spotlight there against Gunther. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I'm obviously a massive Jey Uso fan, so I kind of like the fact that he's getting a world title shot, but it doesn't scream main event of WrestleMania. This screams like opening match of WrestleMania,
which isn't a bad thing.
Which isn't, and I honestly think that's the best spot for him is to go first. It's not a disrespectful thing. It's a thing you either want to be the first or the last. You don't want to be the second, and you don't want to be the co-main event. But A-Town Down Under has needed a breakup for a long time. I feel like Austin Theory could go off and be a great babyface if they just fucking pulled the trigger on it.
I know. It's been 2 years?
I thought they were going to do it after the NXT pay-per-view. After Vengeance Day. I thought fucking for sure they were going to do it. And they didn't follow up on it. And then they did it again. They did it. They teased it again with a few weeks ago when Austin Theory yeeted. I thought they were going to do it again. I'm like, no, they're going to fucking keep delaying it for some reason. Just pull the fucking trigger. Austin Theory is insanely likable. He takes pictures with fans before the show. He's super over. Turn him fucking face already.
It's the long game, though. Long-term booking, that's what you need.
Yeah, long-term booking. How long? A year and a half?
I guess so.
This is long-term booking at this point.
Hey, just enjoy the ride Triple H and The Rock are taking you on. That's the method that we gotta.
No, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm enjoying it already. Just turn Theory face ready for fuck's sake.
What are we gonna say, John?
It's a slow burn. It's such a slow burn that it's ice.
Starting to freeze over.
Ooh.
But next, AJ Styles gets interviewed, and he talks about like how he was happy to be back because he's missed so much time and stuff recently, and he talks about how Logan Paul had a good performance in the Elimination Chamber, and he talks about like his reactions to John Cena turning heel. And he says that he really couldn't believe it, type of thing. But before he could finish his sentence, Karrion Kross like comes up behind him like creepily, and like I thought he was gonna put him on like a submission hold or something. But he says like you really shouldn't be surprised because these are hidden darknesses that have always been there with John Cena. And AJ Styles gonna just kind of tells Karrion Kross to leave him alone. We've already done this dance before, and we're not gonna do this again. And he kind of tells him to stay away from him, which is a good thing because typically if you get involved in the Karrion Kross vortex, you typically end up going heel. After this, he says that at Madison Square Garden, which is where Raw is next week, he's calling out Logan Paul. And I thought like he was gonna challenge Karrion Kross to like a match tonight, but I guess I don't know what's going on with that. But overall, this segment was good. Karrion Kross is just weird. He never could seem to get over. But like he's interesting, I guess, because of the because everyone that he contacts like turns heel. Even because I think a lot of people speculating that because when Karrion Kross, I think he posted an Instagram post of John Cena, and obviously everyone's kind of saying like he turned heel now. But I'm excited to see AJ Styles versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. I think that's a good spot for both of those guys to be in. I think that will be a really good match, and I think AJ, he just did he was on Chris Van Vliet's show recently, and he said that he's gonna stop. He's not gonna be wrestling when he's 50, and I think he turns 48 this year. So I'm gonna enjoy the last run of AJ Styles while we can because the last couple of years for him have been kind of rough because he's had a couple of injuries. And he's looked real good the last couple of weeks. So I like this. But what do you think of this? Little interview that AJ Styles, a nice conversation that Karrion Kross had and everything like that, Chris.
Leave him the fuck alone. That's the first thing. Just leave him the fuck alone, okay? I am going to enjoy this. AJ will be 48 in June. Just looked it up. So we have, I think it's a year and a half, maybe. Before he hangs up and he said he's not going to have a retirement match at 50. So he's going to be, once that 5-0 hits, he's done. He looks good. This feud Cross is going to be interesting. Because I feel like it's going to be over a Japanese shampoo. It's just two long-haired, beautiful-haired individuals fighting each other.
But yeah, John, what did you think of this segment with AJ Styles?
I appreciate the TNA reference of the evil ways.
That's right.
He said in the promo.
That was awesome.
Karrion Kross. What is he supposed to be like? The devil on his shoulder or something like that, or something like that, or some shit like that.
I think because he came back in like 2022, and everyone he's feuded with has gone through some big character change. So I feel like
everyone that he lurks around too.
Yeah, and I think I don't think originally it started. I think it did turn into that gimmick, but I don't think WWE came up with it. I think they just noticed a lot of people online notice that everyone started turning heel or changing gimmicks, and they just made it into
unexpectedly.
A thing. Yeah,
unplanned. So now they're just leaning into it.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where the fans kind of say that was WWE's plan all along, but I don't think that was really the case because the thing is everyone talked about this, but he never wins any of his feuds that he's in. So like he doesn't really benefit from these so like yeah, he changes these people and he wins that way, I guess, but he doesn't win the feuds themselves, if that makes sense. Kind of
Oh
like
yeah, I got you.
yeah, kind of like Bray Wyatt, I guess, is the best example I can make. Next, we had the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Lyra Valkyria defending against Ivy Nile. This was a very good Intercontinental Championship match. Really back and forth. Ivy Nile looked really good in this match.
Unknown caller.
There was a few occasions where I thought she was actually going to win the match. Like when she got Lyra into the ankle lock and really started stretching back on the ankle lock. I thought... Lyra was going to tap, but that was not the case. Eventually, Lyra Valkyria wins with Nightwind and beats Ivy Nile. I don't know what this means for Lyra Valkyria when it comes to an Intercontinental title reign, because it seems like this is kind of a blow-off. But I do like where this is going, because I think like it's setting up something with Chad Gable, because he just left, and we'll get to him later in the show. And a big thing he wanted when he came back was for everyone in the Alpha Academy, not Alpha Academy. What's the name of the faction? Team Academy. It's
American Made.
American Made. There it is. He wants them all to have belts, and as I get to, all of them lost their title matches on this show. I'm enjoying Lyra as Intercontinental Champion, the women's version of it, anyways. Because for a couple of weeks she wasn't defending her title, so I'm glad that they're kind of fixing that issue. The thing I'm starting to get worried about is it feels like this is going to be one. It seems like the women's Intercontinental title isn't really being showcased like it could. It could be one of those things where there's too many championships. Because meanwhile on SmackDown, you have the women's U.S. title with Chelsea Green's being showcased very well, while the women's IC title just kind of feels like another belt that the women are fighting for. But yeah, John, what did you think of this match?
The action was fine. I didn't feel as though the crowd were into it. I don't know who these people are, so I really can't.
That's fair.
Like they're fine. They're fine. It's the best way I can describe it is just fine. And I don't. It has been a pet peeve of mine for a while. I don't like having so many belts. Why do we have women's mid-card belts? Why?
Yeah,
I don't understand. Especially if you're not going to feature them prominently. Are they going to get a Mania match? I don't think so.
I don't see that happening. If any big card belt's probably getting the Mania match, it's probably the U.S. if Chelsea Green keeps it and everything like that. Because Chelsea Green, they feature very prominently on SmackDown every week.
He's genuinely fun.
Yeah. But yeah, Chris, what'd you think of this match?
I thought it was fine. I really like Lyra. I think she's great. But yeah, I thought it was fine.
All right, then the next two segments I'll break down all in one because they're basically one segment. Seth Rollins gets interviewed, but before he could say anything, he notices something in the corner, and that's CM Punk, and they get into another pull apart brawl, and Adam Pearce has to come and break it up, and he tells CM Punk to leave, and he tells Seth Rollins that he wants to talk to him. So then backstage, they go to a commercial break and come back, and they show like the replays of it and everything like that. And then Adam Pearce is upset with Seth Rollins, so Seth kind of gives Adam Pearce an ultimatum that it's him or me. It's either you get rid of CM Punk or I'm going to keep doing this every week. And he's upset with Adam Pearce that he's the one that's been like putting this company on his back and everything like that. And it seems like that he's not taking his side. So Adam Pearce says, you know what? Huh?
Where?
But Adam Pearce says that, if you want to do something about this, then next week in Madison Square Garden, you and CM Punk can face off in a steel cage match. And then he has Seth go on his bus, and he has like two security guards make sure that Seth stays there the rest of the night. And I guess it worked because he stayed there the rest of the night. He did the Raw podcast, I think, like right after this, like pretty much. And he said some pretty bad things about CM Punk and everything like that. I like this. You get a match out of this next week. I'm okay with them doing the match next week because I think we're going to get some type of triple threat match with Roman involved. I imagine Roman's going to come back next week and beat up Seth. But yeah, John, what did you think of these two segments right here?
It's a great follow up to the earlier segment. Set up the match next week. Obviously, Roman's going to get involved in the steel cage. Seth's more of a heel. Like I think Seth's already a heel anyway, and because he always brings up that I took out Roman Reigns, I ended his WrestleMania dreams, like or something something to that effect. He's beating up CM Punk, who the fans love. Like I think he's already a heel, and kind of a whiny little bitch about the whole thing.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though because there'll be times where he's not. I feel like he's more of a tweener at the moment. He hasn't had like a heel turn yet per se.
A shade of gray, I guess, would be the.
Yeah.
I don't like Seth Rollins' like the whole character. In the wrestler, he's great, but the whole thing with the stupid outfits, the glasses, the song, the whole thing, out. Ugh, gross. I didn't want to get off my chest because I've been watching him come out in these stupid ass outfits in the song. I'm like, oh, this guy's annoying.
I can't blame you.
Nerd. Yeah, another one. Him and Pat fire him off into the sun.
What if they became a unit together? Like like Pat became his manager.
I would take I'll take another break. You won't see me again for their 5 years.
Wow. Okay. But yeah, but yeah, Chris, what'd you think of these two segments?
I liked them. Set up the match is nice. Steel cage match is gonna be great. Really looking forward to that. Think it's gonna be awesome. Most likely, obviously gonna be the main event on the show. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Awesome.
Maybe this match will happen not on the main event of the show, but on main event.
Ooh, then I'm not watching it.
Oh, I thought that would draw you in to want to watch main event. So,
is that still going?
it is still going, actually.
God.
It's been going for over 10 years. So,
Don't worry though. Owen loves it. It's his favorite show ever.
it's become
Is it R-Truth?
Huh?
And is it like R-Truth's main show?
Oh, speaking of which, that's a big thing we didn't talk. That's a big thing we didn't talk about. From John Cena's heel turn is it's not just broken Chris's heart; it's broken R-Truth's heart because that was his childhood hero and everything like that. So, poor R-Truth, man. Feel bad for him.
I know we're going through it.
Yeah.
Why, John?
I noticed too. You and R-Truth have both been going through it. You both, you both got kicked out of Judgment Day, and now your childhood heroes turn heel. Well, I guess you didn't get. I guess you didn't get kicked out, Chris. You just left You left Judgment Day. So
Out of protest.
R-Truth, I think, still thinks he's in Judgment Day. Actually, so.
He does.
He thinks he's on SmackDown right now, and he thinks he's on Raw. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. Like,
he's doing good.
Well, no, he thinks Carmelo Hayes is him. I don't know what he thinks. So,
I don't either.
But next, Ludwig Kaiser comes a promo, and he's gloated about the fact that he won the triple threat match and that he's ready to get his career back on track. And he sees future. People see future. Speaking of main eventer and him. And he says that he's better than Penta. Penta comes out. I almost called him his AEW name, but you can't be doing that. And he attacks Ludwig, and he fights him off, and he sends him packing. This is interesting, obviously, because now there's more things that could happen with Penta now, because Rey Fenix has been released. Well, on this day, he's been released from his AEW contract. And this is actually a good thing, Typically, it's a bad thing when people get released, but Rey Fenix has been wanting out of his AEW contract. For a few months now? I think since December, maybe November.
Yeah.
and it looked like that he was going to get stuck there for a while, but AEW just released mainly all the people that had been wanting out of their contracts for a while. I'm just explaining this to John's benefit because obviously John doesn't really know the AEW side of things and everything like that. But, pretty soon we could see Ray Phoenix and the Lucha Bros back together in WWE again.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, Chris, what did you think of this? And the Ray Phoenix news that came, because I figured I'd talk about the Ray Phoenix news now since, Penta showed up here.
Love it. Love it. He's going to be in WWE very soon. And I would expect it to involve his brother, Penta, and maybe a tag match at Mania. Maybe with Pete Dunne and Kaiser, I think. Kind of the direction I think they're going in.
Yeah, I'd like that.
I think that's going to be. I think it's going to be really good. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to when Phoenix shows up.
John, what did you think of this? And I know you haven't really been able to see much of Phoenix recently, and I know you don't really know much about the AW news things, but what do you think of how Ray Phoenix will play in all this if it does happen?
They're probably going to do a tag match, right?
That's what I think. Yeah.
With probably usually with the War Raiders. Much later on the show. I mean, it should be fine. Both of these guys are good performers, so yeah, it's all right.
Have you seen much of Penta since he joined WWE, or have you not?
I saw him fuck up in the Rumble, and it's a great look. It's a great look. I kind of wish they would do the lights out with the entrance because the fans see him come to the ramp first.
That's fair. I can see that.
Or the music. That's more of a production thing.
Next up, Bianca Belair gets interviewed, and first she gets asked about the Jade Cargill situation, but she said out of respect for Naomi and Jade Cargill, she's not going to talk about that. Kind of put a Tony Khan there. Nope, can't talk about that.
Talk about that.
And then she said that she's going to watch the Women's World Title match very closely and looks forward to see who she's going to face at WrestleMania. What did you think of this interview, Chris? Did you like it or did you not like it?
It was an interview.
What about you, John?
It was all right. Okay.
And then we had the World Tag Team title match. It was the Creed brothers challenging the War Raiders. This was a good match. Kind of copy and paste what John just said about the women's IC title match. The crowd didn't really care about this match that much until Julius Creed did the 450, and then they kind of got into it. The War Raiders won with the War Machine type move, and then that was it. They just retained the titles. I don't know what this means. They're not. Chad Gable's not going to be happy with them. So that's not good. But yeah, I thought this was a really good match. Just the crowd really didn't want that into it. So what did you think of this match, John?
Giants fine. They're just okay.
What about you, Chris?
I didn't mind it. Yeah, it was okay.
And before this, I
That
actually
wasn't at all.
not at all. Before this, there's a segment I forgot to talk about. So they showed footage of Chad Gable. He's been away trying to recruit the best luchadors, so that way he could figure out a way to beat luchadors. So we see him walking around the streets of Mexico and everything like that, and he walks by these two thugs asking if, and he has a name written down on a piece of paper that Dominic Mysterio gave him a little bit ago, and he asks where they are, and they don't really answer him, and then he walks behind a back alley, and we see someone. We never see who this person is, but it's someone off camera, and he says, have you been looking for me, type of thing, and he asks how he can beat the best luchadors, and the person gives him a box, and Chad Gable had to give up quite a bit of money to get this box, and then when he opens the box, so we don't actually see like what's inside the box. The implication of it is probably going to be a mask. He might become a luchador. I don't know if you guys ever remember when we played SVR 2010. I believe they did this gimmick with Jack Swagger for like 1 week where like we fought him as like a luchador, and then we had to like unmask him, and we found out it was like him, but it was obviously like him. They might do that gimmick.
Toto Americana?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Overall, I like this. I'm interested to see where this goes. I like the way this was shot and everything like that. It's really weird they didn't do this a few weeks ago and like do these vignettes for a few weeks while he was gone, but we'll get them now. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. What do you think of this segment, Chris, with Chad Gable?
Interesting, to say the least. When it comes to the Chad Gable side of things, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
And you know what? We have one person to thank for, Chris, Dominic Mysterio, because he gave Chad Gable the name of the luchador. So, huh? No. What do you mean no?
Nah, he doesn't deserve any credit.
You know, I feel like you will never give Dominic Mysterio any credit until he turns face and reunites with his dad.
He makes up for it.
But yeah, John, what did you think of this Chad Gable video package?
Just I thought it was funny. I think this is leading to a hilarious thing with Chad Gable.
Who do you guys?
The guy that gave him the guys who gave him the mask. It's Dominic Mysterio, just in an old man outfit.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, who do you think it was, Chris? Who do you think was in that gave him the box?
Matt Riddle.
Oh, okay. Was it?
Psychosis.
It's like super crazy.
Then we had some promo segments. I'll just talk about them real quick and then ask you guys your thoughts on them. LWO did a promo where they get upset that they took out that the New Day took out Rey Mysterio. I forgot to say the New Day originally. I almost said that they took him out type of thing, but whatever. And they said they're going to pay for what they did to all their friends and everything like that. And then Rey Mysterio comes up out of nowhere and says that next week it's going to be him and Dragon Lee versus the New Day in a tornado tag match. Sounds like Rey Mysterio was coming off a sickness here because his voice was very raspy, but it is flu season, so I can't really blame him for that. But if he's got a sickness going on, maybe stay away from the LWO because they could get sick. But whatever. And then this was weird. So they went to commercial and then they came back, and like mid promo, I guess Jackie Redmond was interviewing Braun Breaker, and I guess Finn Balor interrupted it. This is kind of one of those things where like, you know, Netflix doing the commercial breaks did this segment, so some people saw this, some people didn't. And Finn Balor's calling out Braun Breaker to the ring and basically says that Braun Breaker's nothing more than like a meathead, and this causes Braun Breaker to go out there. Originally, it's a trap. Carlito tries to attack him and it isn't very successful. And then Dom tries to do the same but isn't successful. And he gets in the ring. Finn's able to stop him up when he gets in. He lays him up with the slim blade a couple of times. And then he grabs a chair and he's about to use it on Braun Breaker. But then Braun picks him up in a gorilla press position and tosses him to the outside on a Judgment Day. And he's about to get laid out with the spear, but Dominic Mysterio saves him. I mean, at least he's been a good friend to Finn, Chris. At least he's doing that. And then Braun Breaker lays out Carlito with the spear. I thought the segment was good. You know, maybe getting an IC title match between Finn and Braun Breaker. I'd be interested in that. I don't think they faced off yet either, so that'd be cool. And then Jey Uso's backstage, and he talks about how he's going to win at WrestleMania. He kind of says more of the same thing that he's been saying the past couple of weeks. But yeah, Chris, what'd you think of all these three segments right here?
They were fine. They were good.
What about you, John?
No, they're good. They're good.
And then we had the most surprising thing that happened in the whole show. The main event, not the show, Chris, so you can stay right here. That hasn't aired yet. So, you know.
God.
But it's the Women's World Championship match. It was Rhea Ripley defending against Io Sky, and John and I were talking at Elimination Chamber and everything like that. Like Rhea's clearly going to retain because obviously the big match they haven't done at WrestleMania yet is Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, like in a 1-on-1 capacity and everything like that. Bianca Belair comes out to watch the match, and this match was great. Just definitely go watch it for yourself. It was really great back and forth action. But we got the big surprise at the end of the night. Rhea Ripley, had Io Sky beat. She was going to win by countout, but then Io Sky gets in the ring, and Bianca Belair's happy about this. And, Rhea kind of gets into a face-to-face with her. And says, like, what, you want her to win type of thing? And this kind of causes Rhea to get off her game, and she goes for the Riptide off of the second turnbuckle. But the Io Sky counters it and hits a moonsault on the Rhea Ripley and wins the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. This was great. I really like this finish a lot. I'm pretty sure they're going to do a triple threat match at WrestleMania instead. Some people have speculated that maybe Rhea's hurt, so that's why this happened. Or maybe, she's being punished because a lot of people thought she was at Grand Slam, which wasn't the case. But I like this finish a lot, though. Kind of shows it's nice to do surprises going into Mania season. Kind of shows like, hey, just because the Mania card's set doesn't mean it's set in stone and everything like that. And I thought it was a really nice swerve, and I think Io Sky deserves this moment too. She's one of the best wrestlers on the roster, and I think she deserved to get this moment. And maybe this will set up Bianca's turn. If Bianca is going to turn, did Bianca do this thinking that Io would be an easier opponent for her to beat than Rhea at WrestleMania type of thing? And I don't mind Rhea losing the title this early, too, because there's only so much she could do as champion. So the fact that she beat Io, and it's actually a great story because Rio's never... I just said Rio.
Rio!
But Rhea's never beaten Io before, so that's a good story you could continue to tell. Maybe that's like, Io's kind of like the... CM Punk to John Cena until Cena beat him type of thing. But I like this a lot. I like. It was a really good way to end the show and a really nice surprise. But what did you think about this, John?
I thought it was an excellent match. I'm happy that Io won. They are probably gonna do a 3-way here. Because I think they might want to save Bianca and Rhea 1-on-1 for further on down the line.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a way for them to get the belt onto Bianca without her pinning Rhea. That's my guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain about that. What do you think of this, Chris?
I liked it a lot. I thought this was a really great main event. Io and Rhea have insane chemistry together. This is the third match they've had together, third big match they've had together, and they just have such amazing chemistry. Io winning is cool. I like that a lot. I think she's won both belts now, right?
Yeah, because she cashed in last year on Bianca, actually, when I won that belt. The match we didn't pay attention to last at SummerSlam, if you remember.
Yep.
Well, Bianca...
and then Rhea was yelling "fuck" like 1,000 times on the outside. You can hear it clear as day into the cameras. That was hilarious. But yeah, I thought it was great.
And that was Raw. I thought Raw overall was a great show from start to finish. I'll go B+. I was thinking A, but I don't really think there's a need to go for an A. I feel like next week's show is going to be the A show. Or it could be an F. You never know. Could be an F. Vince could come back next week. I mean, Vince could come back next week and change the whole show. You never know. I'll give it a B+. I thought, this Raw felt like we're finally in Mania mode. I liked it a lot. What would you give this Raw as a letter grade, Chris?
I give it a B+. I thought it was a really good show. That after the opening segment, it kind of tailed down a little bit. The main event brought it back up, but I feel like it kind of hit it kind of plateaued a little bit.
What about you, John?
Yeah, I'd probably give it a B. It's a hard start, great finish, not much in the middle.
I agree. Yeah, John, want to talk about NXT if you want to head out because I know you don't really keep up with NXT.
Did not watch it, so I have no clue.
Yeah.
I'll take off then.
Anything you want to
Chat with
plug?
me, guys?
Anything you want to plug and
Yeah,
promote
nothing.
before you get out of here? I got nothing.
Media brevities. I don't know. I got nothing.
What do you think about WWE and TNA's partnership? You haven't been able to talk about that yet.
Well, based on the fact that they threw out their champion in about 2 minutes, hell's frozen over, and the company that will not die in TNA still lives.
Yes, it does. Hey, pretty soon we're going to be saying this about AEW, so...
Yeah, give it time.
but yeah, thanks for coming, John, and hope you enjoyed the show.
Yep. All right. See you guys.
All right, we're going to talk about NXT now, Chris. We haven't talked about NXT for a
Yay.
couple weeks.
I gotta find something because you didn't tell me we're doing this.
Oh no, we'll just talk. I mean, we'll just talk. We're not going to do notes. We'll just talk about what's been going on recently.
Okay, I thought I was like, wait, I was like, wait a minute, I gotta find something.
Yeah, but no, we'll just talk. I didn't make notes up, so we'll just talk about what's been going on. They've set up, because they're going to MSG also, which is really cool for NXT. I think we've talked about
Love
this
it.
before. I like that NXT goes on the road like every. But it seems like they do it like every 2 weeks. It seems like.
Roughly, yeah, because this is the first time the Hardys were at the Performance Center.
Yeah, but it seems like every like month or so, and I think this is a good thing because I remember this is one of the main reasons NXT really couldn't compete with AEW originally when they went on the Wednesday Night Wars because they were always in the same venue, and now even though weirdly enough they could stay at the PC and they would probably still compete very well with AEW actually, which is kind of weird. So, but I'm kind of talking out of my ass there. But I feel like it's good to not stay in the same place all the time. That was kind of the big thing that TNA Impact fell into, where they just stayed at the Impact Zone, and it got to a point where like, sometimes people wouldn't really react to certain things because they would see it so often and everything like that. So it's good to. It's also just kind of good because as you've talked about before, it kind of tells you like who's getting over and everything like that. Because I'm pretty sure who was over, and then like Jada Parker for some reason was over in the PC, but as you see when she's out of the PC, that's not the case. She's not as over as a lot of people make it out to be and everything like that. So it's kind of good, like. Because this is benefiting like Obafemi huge, the fact that he leaves the PC. Like, it shows that he's actually over type of thing, which is cool. But yeah, let's talk about some things that are going on in NXT. Like you said, the Hardys came back recently. This was huge. The fact that this happened, I'm really happy about it. I think this is going to be like a good... start a relationship with the Hardys and WWE again. I feel like they were very hesitant on it because obviously the way that Jeff left WWE was not the best way to leave WWE. And I like the fact that
Yeah, Love it. Awesome. It's been awesome. They're gonna have a killer of a match against Fraxium, which has been trademarked now. So I think they're gonna be called Fraxium now, when it's not just an unofficial name. I love it. I think it's been an awesome run for them so far in TNA together, and it's been a nice little return for them to WWE. Yes, I think they will in the coming months. Yes. I love it. I love it a lot. It's going to be my. I feel like this is going to be one of the matches of the year for sure. Are you shocked at this point? Either way, they're always wrong anyway. Love it. Love it all the time. Everything. Whenever they get something wrong, it's a day to celebrate. Yeah.
Mike shut off for some reason, so that was a thing. And yeah, Ricky Saints has been in NXT. He's been doing real well in NXT so far. He had his first match a couple weeks ago. He teamed up with Javon Evans to face Ethan Page and Wesley, and he pinned Wesley. It seems like he might be going into a feud with Ridge Holland, or maybe Sean Spears. You know, which we'll get to Sean Spears later. I think he's doing well so far. I don't know if you saw this interview. He cut like a really good interview where he got really emotional because obviously he's been kind of kicked around a lot, like this last year or so and everything like that. But how do you think Vicky Saints is doing in NXT so far? Oh, I can't hear you. Hold on. Hold on, I can't hear you. Just keep talking like religiously until I can hear you.
Yep. What it do?
Okay, let's try.
Is
All right, now,
it good?
all right, now talk. Now talk.
Okay, is it good? Is it good?
Yep, it's good.
Is it good? Okay. All right. Yeah, because it kind of went like you kind of went robotic for a second, then it sounded like your mic was unplugged, but I could still hear you.
Should I just repeat everything I just said then?
I think we should be fine, but if not, we can just redo that part. It wasn't that long. It was like 30 seconds, maybe.
I'll just repeat what I just said so I don't have to, like, edit it out or anything like that. I just talked about, like, Vicky Saints, you know. When did I go robotic? When I was talking about Vicky Saints, or was I before that?
Don't remember where it was, but it wasn't... Yeah, I think it was Ricky Saints.
Whatever, this is staying in. Ricky Saints, you know, I think is doing real well in NXT. I remember he cut like a really emotional promo like afterwards, like on the YouTube pages and everything like that, like mentioning, you know, like kind of how he's been kicked around by like, and not really been able to wrestle and all that stuff. Like he got really emotional doing that. Because I think that interview was like 2 minutes on the online, and it wasn't supposed to go that long. But I think because he was getting so emotional, that's why the interview was 2 minutes. Because I think it was supposed to end at one point, and then like you know, it didn't. So, but yeah, what do you think of how Ricky Saints is doing in NXT?
It's very early on, but so far I like what I've seen from him. Yeah.
So. Another thing that happened is Sean Spears won the men's NXT North American Championship. I'm happy about this. I was actually pretty shocked. I kind of figured, Tony D was going to beat him and everything like that. I didn't really think he was... I thought Sean Spears got into a position where he didn't really need to win a championship. He was kind of in that role where he was just going to help the next generation and everything like that. But he ended up winning. The way he won was pretty cool because obviously they did the thing where like Tony D's back was hurt and everything like that. And it was kind of Stax's fault that he lost because... he like put the chair in that position, and it caused him to fall there and everything like that. I'll admit the booking was a little bit overbooked, because I feel like he should have beat him with the C4 spike instead of how he actually beat him, where like Tony D's back gave out when he went for like his the sky high. I think he should have beat him with the C4 spike, but that's just me. But I'm happy Sean Spears is NXT North American Champion. I think the only reason they probably did this, if I'm just guessing here, I feel like they're going to put the belt on Ricky, and they wanted a heel for Ricky to beat. And I think Sean Spears would be a perfect heel for that, which is kind of funny because they're both like AEW, like pretty much like pillars and everything like that. And they're going to like probably have a match at WrestleMania weekend if that happens. I'm interested to see what Sean Spears does as champion. I still don't like his group that he has. Maybe I don't hate the idea of the group. I just don't like who's in the group. If they probably had different people in it, I would probably like it better. Honestly, if he was probably leader of that faction we'll talk about in a minute, I would probably like that better, actually. That faction that like showed up recently and we haven't seen. But what do you think of Sean Spears? I know winning the NXT the men's North American Championship. I know you've been a big Sean Spears fan, so what do you think of this?
I thought it was cool. He definitely deserves it. But yeah, like Tony D must have been like the fucking most useless North American champion of all time.
Probably, yeah.
He was so irrelevant as champion. He almost never defended it, and it's just he just didn't do anything for the championship. Did nothing for it. So putting the belt on Spears, I think, made a lot of sense.
We never talk about this really, but is Tony D like one of the most useless NXT like gimmicks? Like it just seems like his gimmick has gotten so stale since like Honestly, I think we've talked about this a lot when they had him get like arrested. Because I remember he was really over, then they had him get arrested, and like I feel like he hasn't been as over Like that time, it really. I mean, it's like it's kayfabe, but that time they had him get arrested, like took away how over he was.
Horrible. Horrible. And they put him in prison for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know how. I feel like this is gonna be one of those gimmicks that like will go to the main roster, and I don't really think it's gonna get like. I don't think this is gonna be a gimmick that Triple H is gonna like book. Not that he won't book it well. I just don't really see Triple H wanting to book a gimmick like this. It just doesn't. This is a gimmick that, you know.
This is a developmental gimmick.
Yeah. So, whatever. I mean, a good story that can always go back to is him versus Oba, because you know Oba that's the only person he's lost to and everything like that, which kind of bugs me. I feel like they still should have never done that. They should have had like either Oba just vacate the belt or like lose it in a triple threat or something. I don't think he should have lost. Like Tony D was not a good decision as a. I think I said I would have been okay with it because I'm pretty sure how it went was like it was the second episode on the CW, but for some reason the first episode was in Tony D's hometown. So why didn't they just do it like in his hometown? That was really weird. Like
yeah, that felt very odd.
And then like I feel like Oba shouldn't have gotten the rematch either. That was weird. He should have just like vanished and like not just come back until Deadline like he did and everything like that. Plus that it doesn't seem like that win really did anything for Tony D as you've just said. So I think that's also the thing too. We just had we had two really awesome like North American champions in Wesley and Oba Femi recently, and it seems like and even Dragon Lee was a pretty good one, and like Dom. I mean, I mean, you won't agree on that one, but Dom was a pretty good one.
Nope. Carried.
But like it seems like Tony D, like he was just in a string of North American champions that were like really awesome, except for Dom for you. But like
that's right.
It seems like his title reign just fell flat. He never had any feuds with like the belt either. He just like he defended it, but he didn't really mean anything like when he defended it, type of thing. So it's just weird. But yeah, what else is you know they're gonna blow off the Ethan Page Javon Evans feud. I'm looking forward to that. They're gonna have a street fight. I imagine Javon Evans wins that. Do you think so, or do you think Ethan Page wins?
Javon Evans, because Ethan Page got the last win.
Yeah. Do you think they'll do another match, or do you think like a third match, like a blow off type of thing, or?
I think Stand and Deliver.
Maybe a three.
It'll be the last one.
Not the 3 stages of hell, but like that 2 out of 3 falls stip they do, where it's like a singles match, and then it's a falls count anywhere match, then it's like a cage match. The one that they did with Gargano and Cole and everything like that. That would be cool. I'll let you talk about this one because there's not a lot to talk about here. Why don't you talk about that great faction that debuted at Vengeance Day? Talk about that fantastic faction that debuted.
They haven't been seen on TV since.
Nothing.
They've been on television technically because they've been laying people out. Everyone thinks it's them. They're a generic version of the Shield. Very generic.
I mean, I think Retribution more so.
Yeah, Retribution. It's bad. I just don't think this thing's gonna last. Nobody cares. It didn't even get a reaction when they came out.
Yeah,
everyone was like, "Who the fuck are these people?" And of course, when you deal with all PC recruits, it doesn't fucking help when you leave the PC.
Mm-hmm. Can we talk about
It needed to have someone in there that wasn't Dion Lennox, that people actually knew outside of the PC. It needed someone in there.
Weirdly enough, they should have probably had this. Probably should have been Sean Spears' group. Like, found a way to factor that in somehow, type of thing.
Yeah, Sean Spears absorbed them into Spears' group.
Yeah,
because that would have made sense.
Can we talk?
Sean Spears looks like a mastermind of some kind.
Can we talk about the weirdest thing that's the weirdest person that's in this group? I know we're going to review LFG, but one of the people in the group is like Cutler James, and like LFG's like a legit Aaron right now. It's obviously been taped a while ago, and he's like, you know, he's in LFG now because Sexy BJ Ray got hurt. So it's really. That's also on the booking type of thing. Like, why did Sean book Cutler James to be in this gimmick when he was going to be in LFG in like pretty soon? And And you can't say Sean didn't know because he was on that episode when Cutler James got. Does Sean not know Cutler James got like put in there? That he forgets? Like
He probably doesn't know who Cutler James is.
probably not. He knows who Sexy BJ Ray is though. Like he knows who he is. You know who he is now too. So
Yeah, BJ Ray.
yeah, but what else is going on in NXT that what's been going? Fatal Influence still sucks. That's not good.
Yeah,
They still suck.
they still are irrelevant because they haven't appeared since Fallon Henley lost her title.
That's good. I like that. I don't like them, so.
Could keep them off my TV.
Well, they were on this week because they did the Jordan Grace has been showing up a lot recently. She had a promo segment a couple of weeks ago that got interrupted by Roxanne Perez. She had her first match as a WWE contracted superstar with Cora Jade, which unfortunately didn't end very well for Cora Jade because obviously I don't think she obviously she didn't get injured, but it feels like something went wrong, so they just stopped the match.
I don't know what it is. It's not her knee because she said her knee was fine. I don't know if it was she got her bell rung or I'm seeing a lot of things like one of her implants might have burst. So who knows?
Yeah. It seems like this just seems to happen a lot with Cora Jade, where it seems like every time she gets into the ring now, she gets injured or something like that. So,
it seems like it too because before the injuries, she was incredibly talented. She was one of the brightest stars in NXT 2.0.
yeah.
And now and now she just feels like, although still talented, it feels like the injuries are starting to mount up, and it's starting to slow her down a little bit.
I wonder if it's gonna get to a point with Chloe, where they're gonna have to sit down and say you might they're gonna have to say you're done with they might have to put on a manager role or something.
She just turned 24, so it's it's insane. She's still super young, and she's had just so many injuries so far.
Yeah. So, she's supposed to
And
face.
when she's healthy, she's really good.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, she's supposed to face Masha Slamovich at Sacrifice. That match might be up in the air now and everything like that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Kind of sucks for Jordan Grace though too. Because this was her first big match, signed and everything like that. So kind of takes the steam out of that. At least she's had that's a good thing about the partnership. At least this wasn't her first match and everything like that. So, but they're gonna do Roxanne versus Jordan Grace at Roadblock. I imagine that's gonna be Roxanne Perez's last match because obviously that's something that was left unfinished type of thing. I'm cool with them finishing this because obviously Jordan Grace got robbed and, type of thing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with it. How do you feel about them going back to Roxanne Perez and Jordan Grace?
They need to end it for sure. Just to let Roxanne move up.
Yep.
She doesn't need to be in NXT anymore.
I'm hoping they're slowly turning Roxanne face on the main roster because what I would like is her and Bayley team up. Because Roxanne needs to go back to being a babyface. Not desperately like it was. I guess she transitioned pretty okay into the heel role, but she's still kind of miscast as a heel and everything like that. So, we'll see what happens. And yeah, let's see what Booker T still being weird on commentary. He was very testy this week on commentary.
Where is he not?
I like how he kept hyping up that the LFG recruits are going there. We're gonna be on NXT, and I'm like, Booker, you're on NXT every week, dude. What are you talking about? He was hyping it up the LFG crew are gonna show up on NXT, and it was just Booker, you're on NXT every week. What are you talking about? I feel too, it's not even going to make any difference if Booker T is there with the LFG crew or not. He's just going to be doing commentary anyways, probably. He's not doing a segment in the ring or anything like that, unless he thinks he is. I don't know. He got very worried that Trick Williams' thin isn't his quotes and stuff as they're going to be into his entrance. Speaking of that, Trick Williams and Eddie Thorpe's feud still going on. It's all right. I liked how it seems like I don't think Trick Williams is going heel, but they're building up like a more aggressive side to him and everything like that. With the fact that he just wants to get his championship back and everything like that. So that would be interesting. What do you think about Trick Williams? How aggressive he's been and everything like that.
I think it's interesting. Again, we'll see if he does go heel. I could see it, but it's just I don't think it suits him.
Yeah,
I think he's just way too over. But yeah, I don't see it.
I think that's everything in NXT side of things. Zalia and Saul Wilco are getting a really nice push. You know, they're being pushed real well as a tag team. I'm liking them. Do you like them as a tag team, or do you not like that?
I do. I liked it from I thought that the pairing is interesting. I like it a lot. I think it's a very interesting team.
I wish they were the ones that had defeated Bianca and Naomi for the tag titles, because we haven't had like a women's tag team in like NXT hold like those women's tag team titles. So I thought that was the perfect opportunity to do that. I have a feeling now they're gonna get stupid and like they'll get a women's tag title shot against like Liv and Raquel, and they're gonna lose. I think so. Which is stupid. Yeah. Did you watch Evolve, the Evolve's premiere or nah?
No.
I'll just do a quick breakdown of it. I won't say who wrestled or anything like that. It was good. It was kind of like the old NXT Black and Gold, like when it first started. Kind of gives you that vibe to it and everything like that. Their set was a lot like how Evolve used to be, type of thing, which was pretty cool. It's really funny. Shawn Michaels in like the opening thing was like, Ava's gonna be like the chief of this, but then he like basically said like, I'm booking the show this week, pretty much. Like Shawn wanted to book like the first episode. Like that was awesome. Like Shawn's like, yeah, you're gonna be running this thing, but I'm booking the first episode, type of thing. Like I like to think like Shawn like politic. He was just like, you're gonna do this good, but I get the first episode, type of thing. Like I just love that. The fact that Shawn just decided like, hey, I'm booking the first episode, type of thing. So that's good. We got a is it Kylie Ray appearance? She just signed. Am I getting that wrong? Is it Smiley Kylie Ray? Jack Cartwheel wrestled, and I think Evolve's gonna be good. I think Peter Rosenberg and Mr. Stone do the commentary for it, and they're pretty decent. But yeah, I'm interested to see how Evolve does when it takes place and everything like that. I don't think it's going to be like a level up like it was. I feel like they will put more emphasis on it than level up a main event, but we'll see what happens. Any other WWE news you want to break down before we get out of here?
The Natural Disasters are going into the Hall of Fame.
Well, that's cool. I think they could do some good things in the Hall of Fame.
An hour or so ago.
Yeah, we have a pretty stacked class for the Hall of Fame this year. I'm probably saying the Natural Disasters, that's Earthquake and Typhoon, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they did a lot as I'm pretty sure they had that SummerSlam 1992 match with it was like the Genius, and I forget who they faced in but that was a good, I remember that was a good one. Yeah, I'm excited about that. The Hall of Fame's looking pretty stacked this year. Did they say anything more? Because I remember they said like they were going to change how they do the Hall of Fame this year. Has there anything more been?
Nothing's been talked about.
And then I hear that CM Punk hasn't advertised for a few Raws in these next few weeks. Is that related to the but not Nick Nemeth, Ryan Nemeth lawsuit? Is he just not advertised, type of thing?
I don't know. It was kind of odd they took him off, but I don't know. Or else he would have been off by now.
Yeah. I hope it's just because he's going to be on SmackDown instead, but we'll see what happens. Maybe they're going to write him off for a few weeks. But we'll see what happens. Hey, if Meltzer reported this, it's probably not right, though. So,
Everything he reports is never right. So
How did he become such a big wrestling journalist if everything he reports is wrong?
because all the people inside of the building stopped telling him stuff that was true.
There you go. So he's just guessing at this point now.
Yes.
You should go do something about it.
Because no one in that building likes him. So
There you go.
he decides to give them false information and he runs with it. Like Chris Featherstone, another big insider, someone who likes to spoil things, put behind a paywall that Drew McIntyre was going to win the Elimination Chamber.
Which didn't happen.
So people were paying money to get false information.
There you go. I guess I guess a big news thing we can say that we haven't talked about on this channel yet, because you wanted to celebrate this. I kind of talked about it earlier, and then we'll end the show. We're ending on a bang. Why don't you talk about your boy Vince Russo? You're kind of happy, but kind of mad about this. Vince Russo's had some news this past month or so.
Yeah, he said he's gonna stop talking about wrestling. After his next birth, 65th birth, whatever the fuck it is. Fuck old he is. He's in his 60s. Too bad it's fucking January of 2026. Why can't it be now? Why can't it be now? Why does it have to be fucking in January? Why can't it be now? It's fucking March. Jesus Christ.
Hey, you know what? He actually praised WWE on the John Cena turn for a change, so that's good for him.
He changes his mind next week.
Probably, yeah, because he's... yeah, I'd rather him be done now type of thing, just because he doesn't really have any good takes anyways, and, you know, I don't... Everything that he says is just... you know, BS, but we've talked about that before. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Anything you want to plug or promote before you get out of here unscathed?
No.
Wow, not one thing. Wow. Check out the On the Talkinator channel for all your non-wrestling content. This week, Sunday, will probably be uploaded Monday. Chris and I are going to bring back the retros, and since Raw and NXT are going to be in MSG this week, we're going to do WrestleMania 20 since that was in MSG. And Chris has to watch Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg again and love every second of it. So.
Hell no.
By the way, do you still want to do the dedication of John Cena now since he turned your back on you? Like, do you still want to do those John Cena themed retros, or are you too heartbroken to think about him right now?
It will. It's going to be something that's going to be discussed.
I assume that you won't make a decision today.
It's going to be a thing of discussion that will be had eventually.
We will talk about it. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video, and we will talk to you guys later.